You're right. You're right, AI Henry. The intro is amazing. I love it. Makes me
Hmm.
happy every time I see it. Anyways, thank you guys for being here tonight. You guys, so sorry I was running late. I still thought I had a half an hour to go. I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking actually, because I was off work at 5:30 and I'm working from home. And I looked down at the clock and it's like 6:04, and I realized that the live I set for 6 o'clock. So my bad. I'm so sorry. Anyways, joining us today is Nova. Now, Nova has never been up here. She's been someone that's been in the chat along with you guys on there. And she said, hey, if you ever want to do a live, I can certainly join you. So I took her up on that offer today. And so, Nova, welcome to the live.
Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone. Hope
Okay.
everyone's having a nice day, evening. It's 10:10 here now
I
in Nova
know.
Scotia, Pictou County, Nova Scotia.
Yeah. This week and next week, my schedule's a little bit wonky. I can only do what I can do. I got to
Yeah,
work and earn money first and foremost. Yeah,
yeah,
you know, and
yeah.
maybe one day in time I'll be able to do it. Full time, perhaps covering awareness to cases and children's cases, especially and stuff like that. But for now, got to work and do
It's a
lives as
lot
I
of work, Sonny.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. It definitely. It's like crafting. You get what,
Hmm.
maybe 10 cents an hour type of thing. That type
Yeah,
of thing at the moment. When you
exactly.
go ahead.
I was just saying exactly.
Yeah. So go ahead. So Nova. So go ahead if you could, and hi everybody. Shout outs to the mods and everyone that's in here right now. You guys, of course, this is about Jack and Lily. So please hit that like and the share. You guys know that I ask you never do it for the sake of the channel. Okay, that comes secondary to anything. Always do it for the cases of the missing and the murdered. That's where it counts. It's the families that really want to keep the cases out there and alive, and you guys are the ones that can do that. So thank you very much for doing that. If you guys haven't done so, please do so again. But Nova, so go ahead. So I seen you in here. You told me you had a channel. Um,
Mhm.
and then, so basically, I went over to it. You were covering Jack and Lily, but just go ahead if you don't mind, and just tell everybody about why you're in true crime and this case, and why you're following this case.
Well, true crime I've followed always, forever. Um, Even I kind of joke, even when I was little, I was never very much into cartoons, but the only cartoon I did watch was Scooby Doo. So it was always my thing, and the Nancy Drew books and the whole thing. So now as an adult, it's the true crime.
Yeah.
Um, and I, for a couple of reasons, um, to try to bring awareness to why much of this stuff takes place, which is, you know, most of the time due to DV. And I know we have to watch the way we say some of the things we say on YouTube, so I'm sure everybody knows what DV is.
Right.
Um, you know, and then of course we get into the other things of where there's severely things wrong with people's minds, like Ted Bundy and those issues with people like that. Um, in this case, I because it's in my area. I'm from Pictou County. I don't live far at all from where this took place. And when when the kids first went missing, one thing that bothers me is that the RCMP stated, and it was stated in one of the interviews I had listened to, was that there was an alert put out that day. And he actually said a vulnerable alert put out on the second. Well, I only reserved, hi, Belinda. Um, I had only received a text on my phone and all the people I was with on the third, around close to 5:30. Uh, on the following day was when the vulnerable alert was put out. But besides that, at the time, I had understood, I had watched the mother's interview, and she, Malaya, as we all know now, had stated that she wanted the Amber Alert put out. And of course, at that time, none of us knew what was going on, except that there were two babies missing. And that does not happen around here. That just doesn't happen. And so, because I had my channel already, I thought, well, I'm going to go on there and put something out about this. So I did. And at the time when the alerts had come out that day on the 3rd, not the 2nd. um, and I'd love to know when Kent got his, because I mean, I'm assuming he got his on the 3rd as well. Two of them come out back to back, like just a minute apart. But not on the 2nd. But I know people that got one around 1 o'clock on Friday, though. Oh, see, isn't that strange? And that happened before too, with the another case that I can't remember if it was the missing lady from last year, or there was some. Oh no, the Pickaport thing, or the Portapic thing. There was some discrepancies there as well. But anyways, yeah. So when that had come out, I actually thought that was an Amber Alert, because we don't have stuff like that happen around here. And I thought, okay, well, this must be what our Amber Alert is. So I had went on and did my little video. It wasn't very long. It was just a plea to share this, please, and get the word out there. As far as I know, I was the first person to put anything out on Facebook or YouTube. Then
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I believe so. I believe so. Looking back, so then I received a message from my another friend of mine who's in the States, who she has a YouTube channel, and I've been on her channel and stuff. And she said, do you know Grizzly picked up your your story that you put out about the two missing kids? And so I saw that she had did it. She did it, and then I think that led me to, because I had never heard of you guys. I didn't know who you were, Justin,
Yeah.
Dolly. I didn't know who any of you guys were at the time, which is really strange, being that I was into the true crime. You think I would have been connected to these channels by then. Um, and and then that's how I found all you guys, because then I seen all of you guys started picking it up. Like I saw Justin did, and then Dolly, and then I saw you and uh, 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 Granny's Crime Buster. All those channels.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so that's pretty much what took place
And
there.
I was gonna say, so she's talking about Grizzly True Crime,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
Grizzly True Crime has really soared in her subs. Like when I saw her originally, she was like 60K or 70K originally. So she's
Yeah.
across the pond over there. But so I didn't pick this case up till about a week after I was following it. I was talking with Charmaine about it, but Charmaine was on vacay and
Yep.
stuff like that. And because sometimes it's like I watch cases, but I don't necessarily cover them. And then, because I sometimes you kind of I give it like, okay, well, let's just give it a few days, like,
Exactly.
right, and let's see, if the children are found and
And I
everyone.
think we all thought they were going to be.
Absolutely, and that's not the case, but absolutely, yeah. And so, as you guys know, Belinda's in chat. Belinda, mwah, you know that I love you so much. You've been such a strong warrior. I did
Yeah.
mod you up, Belinda. The reason why I did mod you up is that way you can just go watch any of the members' lives. So it's not because you need to use your wrench on anyone, like, right, Mark? But just means that you can go watch any members' lives, because I was meaning to that last time, and I asked her to put something in chat. I don't recall if she did or not, but I was feeling guilty inside about that. So I was like, so when I seen that she's in here tonight, Alana King's also in here tonight. Again, you guys. So I know that Bree. Okay, so you guys know that Bree, Lana, Belinda, they're all standing behind this fundraiser, of course, for Jack and Lily. So if anyone has, of course, any extra, they want to get bracelets. They got some card decals now. Belinda had recommended that there some flags for the car, and so I want to say that I love the fact that you're from the area, just like Kent as well. You know, people that are actually know the area, understand, you know, I've never been to Nova Scotia myself. I've only been, you know, on a plane over to Newfoundland, and that was about it. But let me quickly go because I want to bring that up for Alana, Belinda, and Bree, that it works really hard. But I also want to let you guys know that Alexa will be on tomorrow with me tomorrow afternoon. So you guys know tomorrow's my birthday, mine and my twins' birthday. So I was trying to do a live in the afternoon while my sister is at work and my husband's at work. So tomorrow, Alexa, the criminal, she's a former criminal profiler, body language expert, and a graphologist writing. Okay. So she'll be joining us tomorrow afternoon. That live will be at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means 5 in Nova Scotia time, which means 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So Alexa will be joining tomorrow. She's a great friend of the channel. How I met Alexa, again, was just sometimes you come across really great people. Alexa has joined us many times for Delphi, in the Delphi case and stuff like that. And then her life did get busy, as a lot of people's do and stuff like that. Yes, my God, yes, thank you, Alana. So Bree, welcome to the Cancers. You know, I got your number if you're a Cancer. Actually, okay, you guys can whatever, but all the Cancers that are in this room right now, let me know. Just tell me if you're a Cancer, because you guys know that I got you exactly who you are and what kind of personalities you are. So Bree, happy birthday, happy birthday. I told Bree she didn't look a day over 99. Now, it might have been a little bit high, but then she was like, well, I was born in 98. And I'm like, well, my son is 97, so that must mean you're 29. I went up a number instead of going down a number. So happy 27th birthday, Brie, on this one. Yeah. And like I said, mine and my twins is tomorrow. But Cancers, I know where you're at. My brother is a Cancer as well. He's a male. My husband's a Cancer. My niece is a Cancer, you know, and then, well, that's about it, I think, for the family. But let me go find Bree's message here because she sent it to me, and I want it because there's a website now, you guys, and Bree sent me the link for it. Oh, come on, Messenger. I gotta refresh my Messenger. Hold on, Messenger. We don't get along, okay? There was this whole chat going on yesterday, uh, with Janie in the chat, and Janie, I already saw that message that you said, watch. This is going to be on It's a Crime and Shame. To be honest, I ain't showing any of your messages because there's pretty much nothing there that hasn't been said by Darren and stuff. And honestly, Kent kept he was sending me all these messages, right? And saying, are you watching the conversation? No. It took him 15 minutes to tell me how to actually get into the conversation. That's how much me and Facebook know each other. We
Same.
just don't. I suck at Facebook group stuff and just to even navigate. That's why I was like, Bree, can you just like send me the thing so I can show it? So I want to, you guys, present. Let's go to share screen. So this is the website that's created, and I can't remember. There was somebody's name that helped them. Let me just see if I see that in the message. So to give a shout out for that person. She did say that there was somebody that helped out. Well, maybe Alana can just put it in into the chat. Someone that helped you guys. Oh, her name is Christine. Someone named Christine helped make this website. So let me just gather the website. It's called findlilyandjack.ca. And I haven't, honestly, I only got to look at it for a few moments because I was working up until 5:30. So I was trying to do things on my break, and I had a lot of stuff to do, thumbnail, blah, 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 on there. Okay, so there's the website right here, you guys. Find Jack and Lily. Again, this is all the proceeds are going to help with the purchase of bracelets, the awareness of Jack and Lily. Again, Belinda stands behind this 1,000%. Alana King, you guys know, held the vigil for Jack and Lily. And also, again, Bree, she does a lot of the graphic work for it. So they say, again, if the children are found, then obviously the proceeds that are left over from any of the awareness will go to the children. Okay, so there is the GoFundMe out there. There is the purchase decals, car decal, keychains. Gotta order me some of those. I love keychains. So I've already ordered bracelets and put myself on the block where you can do for the draw. But I gotta order me some of those keychains for sure. But anyways, so I dropped the link for that. Now hold on, me and navigation. So how you can help. Okay. So again, there's a petition going on. There's the bracelet fundraiser, you guys, where you can scan the codes on there. So please go support Jack and Lily. I don't want to hear, okay, I'm just going to say this. I don't want to hear any negativity at all about this is a money grab. Anyone that even remotely says that, please, mods, boot them to the curb. I'm not here to play games. This is about Jack and Lily. This is about the awareness. Jack and Lily haven't been found. We don't know what's going on. But you guys, at the end of the day, I'm going to have beautiful bracelets and I'm going to order a keychain and I'm going to have beautiful memories of Jack and Lily in this case. So please, no negativity in this chat room when it comes to of course, the fundraiser events. Okay, guys, please have respect. Please respect each other and just keep it nice. Keep it, again, you can have your opinions, but just keep them respectful to of course the panel and to of course everyone in chat. Even if you're nasty and you leave a nasty comment on this video or this live, trust me, all I do is hit block. Okay, because I don't have the time of the day to waste the time on somebody telling me that the intro's too long or get to the point and stuff like that. Run your own damn channel if you have any issues, or do not watch this channel if there's issues. This is about Jack and Lily. This is about the missing and the murdered. Okay, this channel itself and donations and stuff that people give or whatever, those are always secondary. Those, of course, don't even equate into my mind. Hi, Lori. I think there was somebody else that became a member. So just please keep it nice. Okay, I'm here for just absolutely caring reasons about cases. That's why I'm here. I'm in this space. Okay, it's genuine, it's real, and anyone that knows it, this channel and comes to it, please know that. Right? The people that do watch this channel understand a genuine cancer when they come across one. Okay, so thank you so much, Lori Baker, for becoming a member. $1.99 if you guys want to become a member. $0 if you don't want to become a member. Okay, all's fair in love and war here. So let's see here.
And I agree with what Sunny's saying there as well, I want to say.
Yeah. I will never do something for the sake of profit.
Yeah.
In a sense, I will let this channel grow organically, and thanks to you guys and this Canadian case. And I live myself on the western side of Canada here. Charmaine is. Nova here is from Pictou. Kent, who's on, is from Pictou. Alexa, she'll be out of New York. The criminal profiler coming off on tomorrow. Again, she knows. So she's looking over the stuff that I gave her. That I want her to look at. What I want Alexa to look at, by the way, I want her to look at the writings of Malaya and Daniel, and besides the videos, but I want her to look at the writings and use her experience to see what Lexa's actually quite good at what she does. In the cases that we followed, she'd be like, Sunny, no, this is really like with Delphi. She was like, I really think that this is an estual thing and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Alexa, I'm sorry to disagree. She ended up being right. Doesn't matter.
I watched that video.
Right.
I watched a video yesterday with her on your channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I love Alexa. Good friend, good person. And I just really, again, we're here to keep it real, guys. Put out facts as we know them. We can talk about speculation. And if we don't have receipts, we'll tell you it's speculation and to take it with a grain of salt at the end of the day. But I do want to say I am very proud to cover this case because it is a Canadian case. And typically the cases that we've covered are the American cases or cases across the pond. This one took a life of its own. Going back to what you were saying, I was very proud to see how many how many United States and over the pond channels were
Mhm.
covering this case, right? Like, meaning it was like everywhere I looked, every tarot card reader, every channel that I typically know about was covering this case. Unfortunately, sometimes there's cases like P Diddy going on, or other cases, the Brian Koberger case, that people unfollow. But sometimes they fall to the wayside on other channels, especially as no information comes out, and right, because they cover many different cases. I
Yep,
like to stick to one case, two maximum. That's it. When I do a
yep,
case, I just put my all into it, and my heart and my soul, and that's what I'm doing here. And Belinda, she was gracious enough to talk to me in Messenger, provide everything that you could possibly ask for anything information. We're literally at 2 months today. 2 months today is the anniversary of the 2 months for Jack and Lily missing. Okay. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's just heartbreaking,
yeah, yeah.
right? We got little pictures here. So I'm going to drop that link again, paste on there. On there. Actually, what I'll do with this link, you guys, let me scroll down. I'm just going to pin this one. Can I pin this one? I think I have to go to my live to pin it here. Um, Here we are. Okay. So replace pinned message. Okay. So you guys, I've replaced it. It's pinned. Please, again, there's wonderful items again to get for Jack and Lily. So if you guys can help out, there's the GoFundMe as well. And let's see, do I have that up? I think I do. Yeah. Okay. Now, there's people that are across the pond that might have a harder time, or there's some people that just want to donate. Okay, so I'm going to drop the GoFundMe link, but you guys can find that all on this site as well, for Jack and Lily. Okay, guys. So, uh, without further ado, I should say, is there anything that you want to add to any of that before we move on?
No, just that I 100% agree with you. This is not a money grab by any means at all.
No,
Um,
it's
this is to help find out what happened to Lily and Jack, to, locate them possibly. I think the benches are a great idea,
mhm,
um, if that's how things go. And there was another girl that we had who was missing here in Pictou County who did end up being abducted. I don't know if you remember Amber Kerwin, and that's what they ended up doing. For her, was putting a bench down, actually just down the road from where I live. Yeah, so.
and 1 second. And Daniel's interviews. Just Alexa messaging me.
And by
Uh,
the way, I love your intro.
I, I do too. You know,
Yes.
it was
I think it's one of
copyright.
I think the song and the video, I love both.
As asked above. Sorry, you guys. It's really hard, you guys, when there's a lot of people in chat. So I don't know what red flags as Rachel has asked about. Um,
Oh, I
Again,
think did you have that in your title or on the screen, thumbnail or something about.
nope, didn't have
Oh,
it.
for
It was
because
in the,
I thought
oh,
I
it's in
read
the
that.
title. Okay,
Yeah,
well
I thought I read that as
let me
well.
look at my title, eh? Let's see. Let me see what I put in my title, because I know what I did, but I can't remember my exact wording.
I know.
Um, well, no, this is my thumbnail. It says lots to talk about tonight, which there is. Tell me
Lies,
sweet
tell me
little
sweet little
lies, right?
lies.
Yeah,
Tell me
we all know.
lies, tell me
Go ahead.
sweet little lies.
Yeah, exactly. And then RCMP clueless question mark. So I'm not sure. Anyway,
The title says Lily and Jack, we need to, and it says over these red flags. So I think you meant to say cover these red flags or go over these red flags.
I
That's what your title says.
yeah, is that what my title says?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the title of the actual thing. Yes, yes,
Of your live
yes.
right now. So I think what you meant to say was we need to go over or we need to cover these red
Yeah.
flags.
We do. Okay.
RCMP Clueless.
Because there is a couple. Okay, so to me, okay, now let's just make sure that there's facts, and what we deem as facts, even if
Mhm.
you don't believe them, is whenever family is talking. Okay, that's what I mean by facts or RCMP. So it doesn't
Yeah.
mean you have to believe what somebody is saying, but whenever family is talking, obviously these are the people typically that have something to do with the case, or they've
Yeah.
been polygraphed or been talked to and stuff like that, or possibly their family that comes out of the woodwork a little bit. Like, let's say in Darren's case, he said he talked to the RCMP or the police, and he's trying to find answers himself. Doesn't mean what he's putting out there is correct, meaning
Exactly.
he's just trying to see what happened to Jack and Lily,
Yeah.
right? And so regardless, let's say that you guys all feel like Daniel and Janie are full of it, and they're just feeding Darren lies, and Darren's selling into it, buying into it, because Darren, like myself, you guys, you kind of think that you're pretty wise to if people are telling the truth or not. But bottom line is, it doesn't make it true.
Right.
It's just information that he's been looking into, and but the bottom line of it is, regardless, okay, before you keep slagging people, at least have some reasonable thoughts that why is he in this? Do you think he has Jack and Lily in his home and he's coming out here to bring attention to himself, or no? Right? So he's just like any person that somehow grabbed hold of it, but he happens to be family member to the side of Malaya, and of course knowing who Daniel is, right? So, you know, I mean, I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make them drink it. Bottom line is that Daring to me clearly is showing signs of somebody that just wants the answers. What happened to these children? Why did he take it on? Something inside him said, you know what? There's some bullshit going on here. What happened to these beautiful children, right? And they just take it on as full force, and he did. He has, okay? And he might have come strong off of the boat, and he did it the wrong way, but you have to give people slack. When people like Belinda or Darren's of the world, or Jamie's or Daniel's and Malaya's, they have no idea about true crime per se, and how it runs and how it works. So unless you're in true crime, you don't have any idea that these trolls that threaten you are out there, that people will go
Right.
on the attack in a second, right? I don't know for the life of me why Janie decided to go into a Facebook group. Sorry, no offense to anybody, but that is the last place. If you don't want to be attacked, well, you're going to get attacked anyway, regardless. But you want to go into a Facebook group and you want to be ganged up on, right? In a second. I remember seeing where she said she was coming on there to defend herself. Lady, get your butt on out of the Facebook groups. Honestly, that's what I have to say. In a public forum, especially, and this one I guess was. I don't really know much about Facebook groups, private ones, this one, that one. Honestly, oh, let me do this here because I haven't seen some of these. Lottie, thank you for becoming a member. Aaron, thank you for becoming a member, even though I thought you were already, unless you upgraded or something. Lori, thank you for becoming a member. You guys know the Rick Roll song. And Drippy gifted a membership. So, Drippy, thank you so much. Paula McComb got that membership. So, thank Drippy for that. If you don't mind, Paula, if you're in here, very gracious of you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I gotta love Rick Astley. Hi, Joe. So, my thing is this is that the last place from really horrible experience in Facebook groups, okay? And this is why, for me to even enter into one, um, ugh, honestly, I don't. Kent had to tell me 15 minutes how to get into this group that Janie was talking in. Somebody else gifted. How come I'm not seeing it until? Did you do another one there, Drippy? Um, 1 second. Grats. I see it, Paula. But I'm not sure what happened there. I don't see it yet in chat. But if you did too, thank you so much for that. And whoever got that, if you did, do another one. I could be wrong, but it's showing that you did, unless it's just me. But anyways, so Janie, you said it's a criming shame. We'll probably cover it. Just wait and see. Honestly, Janie, again, I messaged you. I asked you myself if you personally wanted to have a chat or whatever. Um, Facebook is not the place to try to clear yourself of anything or defend yourself at all. It's bad enough that people will get attacked just for coming on a live regardless. But just a word of advice on that one, Janie, you might have gathered. There's some good people, and there's some people that think that they have a right to all this knowledge and stuff like that. Bottom line is, my thing is this: if it's about Jack and Lily and you have something to add to the case, speak up or shut up, right? Is my way. So if people really care about Jack and Lily and want to be a voice on the social media platform, right? Put up or shut up is what I gotta say. Either don't just sit there and give out little pieces of a story, like here's a little driplet here, and then like Daniel, and no offense, please take no offense by this, but Daniel, you say things and then you contradict yourself literally within your own messages and interviews, and then you're deemed as a liar. And then how can anyone trust you after that? If Janie too changes her story, people are going to notice that. So you're setting yourself up for a lot. So if there's factual things to do with Jack and Lily, I would love to hear from people all day long, from the family members that want to add value to finding Jack and Lily. Um, we don't know. There's nobody been charged with anything to do with Jack and Lily. We don't know what happened. We all can have our speculations and thoughts and all that stuff, but there's definitely thousands of red flags.
Mm-hmm.
People are gifting memberships here. Random Man got that one. Thank you so much, Lily, for the membership. I love memberships when people do them. Why? Because it's an act of paying it forward. It helps
Yep.
the channel, but it pays it forward to somebody else. So just so you know, I do appreciate that. Sunny, I also asked her if she would even do a one-on-one chat with you and not live. Right, exactly. Oh, yeah. Sorry about the Rick rolls, but it's almost like it's playing it twice. Yeah, I feel like Stream Yard, no, Stream Labs is having like an echo, playing it once and then playing it again. Normally it just plays it once. That's probably why I'm thrown off when it played it twice on when my bad. Oh my god, when Tina became a member. Maybe that's why. Okay, hi Tina. Didn't see that one. Maybe that's why. Okay. All right. Anyways, okay. Um, so yeah, so Cindy had said, Sunny, I also asked her if she'd do a one-on-one chat with you, not a live. She doesn't want to feel like she's in a spot. Right. Absolutely. If Janie does want to do a one-on-one, type of thing where I can just simply record. Oh, you guys are you guys are really liking the Rickroll stuff going on, aren't you, over there? Okay. Let's see here. I'm not even sure. You know what? I'll come back to that all at the end of the day. Okay. Tina. Oh, just made April received a gift from Tina on there. Okay, guys. Thank you guys so much for that. And you guys can go watch the members live, all the ones that are members now, for all those people that maybe never got to watch any of it. There's no secret stuff going on. I played a video from Hidden, what was it? Hidden in the Fog. And I didn't expect on playing it during the membership live, but it came out. I wanted to share it with the live. And then I seen Dolly had it on his, because I think it was NY Leo called in. I think you guys are on Dolly's Bless Express, he calls it today. You guys are being very given and kind. Thank you guys so much. Um, so, uh, yeah, so for Janie, or anyone, honestly, like I said, you know, Darren has spoke to me privately. There's stuff that I've never put out there because I'm not going to break that trust. If I said I'm not going to put out certain information, I'm not going to do that, because they've asked me to. So, I mean, obviously, if you don't respect that, regardless, no one's going to want to talk to you anymore, right? If you are underhanded and being shady. But, anyways, um, if Janie does want to, then, I mean, I've messaged her. Maybe she doesn't want to whatsoever. That's perfectly fine. Why is it going off every second? I'm from Newfoundland. That's why we love you. Thank you so much. Um, Thank you so much, Vanessa. I don't know what's going on. If it keeps going off though, because I'm not, I'm not seeing anything else being added. So I don't know if there's like a glitch going on. I might have to turn it off if it keeps doing that because it's obviously taking away from my thoughts here.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. But it's just that it's playing more than what I'm seeing happening. So we'll see. Okay. So again, Darren, we have at the end of the day, you guys, this channel does not throw somebody underneath the bus. And if Danielle felt like Charmaine did by those texts the other day, again, she felt like she was doing the right thing by it, and you've been out speaking a lot as well. Um, at the end of the day, this is what I want. I just want the truth. Stop the bullshit. Stop the lies. Just people tell the truth. If this is truly about Jack and Lily, then make it about Jack and Lily. If you have answers that you want to bring to the awareness, because maybe you don't feel like the RCMP is doing their job and you want to tell your story on here and you're a family member or even a very close, like anyone that was at the search or something like that, you know, this is a space that you can come to. I'm not doing this for shits, kicks, and giggles out of this. This is truly for Jack and Lily, and that's what I care about. If family and anyone else wants to play, like when I say play around, I'm referring to, these games of going here and there and this and giving this part of information and this. Honestly, you're asking for a whirlwind of true crime hurt if you do that stuff. Just like going in Facebook groups. Okay, this one I see. You know what?
Darren's in the chat. He said Janie is considering talking to CBC National.
Well, you know what? Then good. Good.
Yeah.
Right? Um, and so, yeah, so to me, if there's an opportunity to speak to the news stations, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you literally have nothing to hide and everything to say, then go for it. Absolutely. Because this becomes it. Something happened to Jack and Lily. We know something happened to Jack and Lily. What that is, we're not sure. But not going to lie, no offense, but if they're not out in the woods and they don't call it an abduction, it goes back to the family. And that's who's going to definitely be in the ring of attacks because obviously a mother and a father, a stepfather. Okay, yeah, it's going off twice.
They're trying to get Native Girl a membership, so they keep purchasing them. You're muted, Sonny, I think.
Yeah, you're right. I said, oh, is that what they're trying to do? Because
Yeah.
unfortunately, there's almost 500 people in here. Yeah. So it's going to be very unlikely that a membership's going to go out. But if you wait till the end of the live and there's a few of you, I can gift out 5 memberships during this live. And maybe you'll get lucky at some point here. Okay, guys? Okay. So at the end of the day, Jack and Lily, this is all it's about. So when it comes to Janie, Daniel, um, Malaya and all that stuff, those come secondary to these kids. But at the end of the day, right? So we don't know who's telling the truth and who's not, because this case has taken that life of itself, where too many lies are happening that you can't make sense of it. This corner from Martell's side is saying, honest to God's truth, this is what happened, da 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 da. From Malaya's side, obviously she's in hiding. It's very sus when somebody kind of acts the way that she does, but maybe there's reasons for that. So, of course, you got suspicious to this side, suspicious to that side. But when you contradict yourself on interviews and to what you've said in messages, again, you're everyone's gonna, be like piranhas on you. You should know that. I get that people don't understand this in true crime, that haven't been in true crime, but they're here because of this case. And sadly, it's because of two missing children named Jack and Lily. It's all I care about. Okay. Belinda knows that. Jack and Lily is my priority. And Belinda knows that to be true as well, that the family members come secondary to bringing awareness to Jack and Lily. And because the information coming out there's so many inconsistencies, that it's kind of like, it's kind of like, honestly, like brewing this pot of diarrhea, and trying to figure out the muddle about where the truth lies with this all. I've talked for quite a bit now. I want to ask you, Nova, if you've personally got anything else that you want to talk about, or anything you've seen in chat that you wanted to comment on.
No, I'm good. I just, again, I agree with everything you're saying. And I agree that coming out to Facebook is definitely not a good thing. And I'm much like you. I don't do the Facebook group stuff, besides the crochet groups and very
Yeah.
low key. The Facebook groups, I don't know about
One
anywhere
second.
else, but they are poison here.
I find them poison myself as well.
Yeah.
Um, I know that in Lana's group, she broke it off because there's the regular chat, and now she has it where there's, the fundraiser, right? Because you don't want to risk that. So I know that she had done that. That's one
Yeah.
thing I did understand, because I saw her message where she said that she was breaking it off, because one's kind of like the gossip and talking about the case, and they can get ugly with people's comments. It can.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
happens in all the groups. But then there's the side that's now for anything to do with Jack and Lily and the fundraiser and stuff like that, and that chat type of chat. So it was good that she did that.
One thing I do want to say, Sonny, is this harassment and stuff that is apparently going on. I saw Darewood's, I keep wanting to always call him Darewood now. Um, I know his name is Darren. Um, that there's absolutely no need of that as well. And I mean, I said it on my channel, and Dolly said it last night as well, or today, or whenever I listened to him, that, you know, when it comes time to it, if there is any need for justice, that will take place. Um, unfortunately, the people being harassed are people that are not really hands-on to do with anything of this, Darren's family. Like, there's just absolutely no need of that. Um, and that just shouldn't be taking place, no matter what anybody's thoughts are. That's just, you just don't do that. I mean,
Yeah,
his kids, his boys have kids, and
yeah.
that's horrible. That's
It is.
terrible.
It is. It is.
There's no need of that.
Yeah. Especially when you know that it's adults doing it, you know,
Yeah.
like grow the F up. Seriously.
Yeah,
Um,
like, it's
honestly.
disgusting, it's
How would
disgusting.
how would these people like it if someone did that to their children that are 30 something years old and whatever,
Yeah,
right? I think it's so disgusting
yeah,
myself that
absolutely.
like to message someone, like whenever I've messaged anyone, which is very rare, but when I have, you know, I never sit there and go, fess it up, where the kids
Yeah,
are. It's more
yeah,
like, hey, if you want to reach out and talk and blah blah blah, or can I ask you a question if you don't mind, that type of thing. But to sit there and literally go to somebody's Facebook and literally sit there and accuse them
Yep.
of being murderers
Or
or
go by
doing
their
something,
house.
it's just,
Apparently, he was saying that there's
yes,
people going by his property. And another thing I wanna say to that is,
yes,
Darren, if you're still here, and anybody else, you have to watch what you're saying on
you
these
do,
channels, because I remember the episode where he had stated where his house is, the street, um,
yeah,
that there's the barn in the yard, and I was thinking, "No, no, 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 don't say that stuff." This is a very small area, and the street that he had stated,
that's right. That's right.
there's only a few houses on that street, and it wouldn't take very much to figure out, you know what I'm saying? Like, just
Hmm.
be very, very, very careful of what information you're putting out there.
Well, I was going to say, because I think that Darren, I mean, he's probably got enough experience now to, and Daniel as well, and anyone that's spoken out. Like, I think Logan was like, yeah, now my name's all over the internet and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Well, you know what? And again, you know, I definitely understand what happens, and unfortunately, these people don't. And so, yeah, I mean, the minute you speak out regarding two children that are missing and no answers, and you speak out, you are there for public scrutiny across the board. Facebook groups, I think
Yep.
that someone sent her that Logan said, and it was in a Facebook group. But absolutely,
Yep.
if you speak out, you are definitely a target, good or bad. But my thing is this, for me personally, I'm that type of person that I don't give a crap what the trolls say. Like, meaning for me personally, if this was happening to me in my situation, when it comes to children, my son or something like that, if this was to happen, you're not going to shut me up.
Yep.
The RCMP ain't going to shut me up. No person, no troll threatening me is going to shut me up. I don't play those wicked games. And yeah, if somebody goes overboard, am I going to report them? Absolutely. Why?
That's right.
Exactly. Because I'm one of those ones that people, those like threats, for the most part, are just idle idiots behind a computer, that are probably pushing back pom poms in their face, chips
Yep.
and shit like that, going, I'm just going to tell this person go hang himself, and stuff like that. And it's
Yep.
ridiculous,
Yeah, it
you know.
is.
But the thing is that it's real and it's out there. So if anyone gets those threats, report them, report them, okay?
Mhm.
Because those people need to, on the internet, right? The thing is, people think that they can just type and say whatever they want, right? And when I say whatever they want, I'm not talking so much about opinions. I'm talking about threats, right? Where literally somebody's
That's
threatening
right.
to come hurt you. That's important to threat. Now, I was going to say that I think Darren has over time here, and I've been trying to tell him and anybody else, is learning a lesson from all this,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And unfortunately, when a case becomes a big case, you are the target. Now, Belinda's never told me that she's been the product of any hate and stuff, because when people see empathy and somebody that's truly hurting, they can associate with that. When people are seeing lies, and that's when they go definitely on the attack. When people take it to this level, and go to, like I said. But anyways, we'll get off the topic of that. But obviously, Janie, Logan, everyone that has spoken out, appreciate it, the information. Unfortunately, it's a muddle of information. And the truth, honestly, the internet's here if people want to put out, and like Belinda, and want to bring in awareness to this case. Okay, she has been the only true person out of all of this. I can't include Daniel because we don't know if Daniel is lying or not, and he's considered a suspect in the case. So Belinda has no stake in the game. These are her grandbabies, these are her son's children. She has no stake in the game besides to want answers to what happened to her beautiful grandbabies. Okay? Everyone else that's part of that whole situation is honestly considered a suspect. Or, bottom line is, and no offense again to the families, but if Malaya's family comes out, okay, how many times, Nova? Okay, I mean, Chris Watts, He was the nicest person ever.
Yeah.
I mean, he was my best friend. I knew him. Oh my God, really? He uh, murdered his wife and he killed his children and his
Yeah.
pregnant wife at that. But he was the greatest person ever. Oh, I couldn't ever imagine him doing that.
Yeah.
Okay? So people might go, well, I could never imagine Daniel doing that. Well, I could never imagine Malaya doing that. Again, we don't live their life. We don't
That's
know,
right.
right? At the end of the day, we don't know, right?
Yeah.
Daniel could be the nicest person to his best friend or to people that know him, right? And
Yeah. And it's a hard thing for the brain to process and accept as
yes,
well, right?
absolutely. Hi, Bree. Happy birthday, Bree. Do 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 do. But so again, I mean, I just try to think logically, and I'm hoping that most people do as well. You know, you just try to look at everything that's put out there. Now, there are things that I wanted to talk about that were put out there. One is from Jordan. Jordan spoke on Dolly. Jordan is the son of Darren, and he
Hmm.
spoke out. Again, not a smart move. Honestly, not a bright move on this one. Why? I don't know if Darren recommended it to him to do it or not, because now he just put himself under attack.
Yeah.
The minute you speak out, like if you just kind of let it go, people will back off of you and stuff, and you can just block them. But the minute you put yourself out there in public again, now you're just asking for people to message you. You're just asking that. So his whole thing was, you know what, my dad, and this is the younger son. This isn't the other one, but this is the younger son. You know, and they can do whatever they want, but just realize when you're not a true crime creator and have been in this space, it it is relentless for information. People feel like they deserve it, even though we don't. To be honest with you, we want it because we want, like people like myself. I'm just trying to figure out a puzzle. What happened to Jack and Lily? What's the best logical answer? What happened to Jack and Lily?
Yeah.
What's the
Now
thing?
I felt bad for him. He broke my heart when I listened to him.
Oh,
You
I,
know,
you know, go ahead, go ahead.
just
One
being being
second.
Daniel's friend, and as he was talking to Dolly, there would be this period, I think he did it like 2 or 3 times where he would stop and then go, "Well, why would Daniel do something like this? Why? Like if Daniel did something, why? Why would he do something like this?" And I felt so bad for him, because,
Absolutely.
you know,
Because we're not personalized really with these people in a
no.
sense, right? Um, and so yeah, the bottom line of it is that, okay, do I believe there's family involvement? From my personal opinion, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it Daniel? Don't know. Is it
No.
Malaya? Don't know.
No.
Because the information is so muddled now, and all we truly hear from is Daniel's side of the family or people speaking out. Cheryl went on that TikToker that did Logan the first time, and then that one that we played the other day. Thank you to Hidden in the Fog for that. There was 47 minutes. There was a key point in there that I want to talk about as well with that video, but those are things that I want to play. But let's go back to Jordan. So Jordan speaking out for his father and saying like, like why, like my dad's a good man. He's just really trying to bring, some sight to the case. So besides Belinda being the ultimate warrior of this case, to me personally, Darren is the second one behind Belinda, because Belinda does have more, I think, knowledge when it comes to, these are her grandbabies. Okay, they're not Darren's grandbabies. He's just trying to find out answers between the two families of what's going on. But he's the second strongest warrior. And whether you believe Darren or not, again, don't slag the man, guys. Honestly, you guys would have zip zero information besides what the RCMP are putting out. So if you're really invested in what about Jack and Lily, don't knock the messengers. Okay. If you don't believe what they're saying, great, don't have to. But you really shouldn't knock the messengers of family members regardless, because it's information, whether it's truthful or not truthful, it's the family speaking out. So it's, is zero better than having something, or would you rather have nothing? Because that's where we'd be at if Belinda didn't speak out. right? If Janie didn't start talking right now, if Daniel didn't speak out, right? So if they're innocent from the Martell side of it and they got nothing to hide, right? Then there's nothing to hide. Of course, we already seen that there's some lies going on. Regardless of what those reasons are, there's definitely inconsistencies. But at the end of the day, again, it's still family speaking out. So we could sit here, be picking our nose all day long, going, oh, when's the next RCMP update? Or we can be thankful and grateful for the information that we are receiving. That's how I look at it. And anyone that wants to speak out, why wouldn't I give them a platform? Right? I'm not going to sit there and attack them. Of course not. Why would I do that? If they want to speak out and say their truth, even if you guys think it's a lie, doesn't matter to me. They're still their words. At the end of the day, RCMP will be the ones that are going to handcuff anyone that deserves to be handcuffed or not, depending on what has happened with Jack and Lily. But that's all I care about. You
Yeah.
know, people with answers, if you haven't said it, then, bring awareness to the case. Maybe there's somebody that knows what happens to Jack and Lily, and they're going to feel so guilty about having the knowledge that they're going to speak out, right? They put up $150,000 reward, dangle, dangle, here's some cheese, come get it, come speak out, right? If somebody truly has that information, that's all we want. We want to know what happened to these beautiful two babies. That's it. These are children,
Yeah.
right? No one should ever put a hand on children. Sorry, but they shouldn't. And in this case, two children just don't vanish like Houdini. They don't. They didn't go into those woods. Guarantee you. They weren't abducted by some stranger. Guarantee you, my own personal opinion. There's no way that one car decided to go down the road at the exact time and it was a pedophile that went yum yum. Some kitties are walking. Okay, the footprints didn't go past the driveway. So that's unlikely that that would even happen. It's such a low plausibility. Could it have happened? Yeah. Could it they be in the woods? Yeah. So who else is left? Family, right? That's the most likely. And you know why? Because the truth isn't being told. That's exactly why. And all this stuff going on is like, you know, like I said, someone calling themselves a truthologist. Daniel, sorry. Like I said, I'm calling a spade a spade. You're not a truthologist. Everyone lies, but you keep saying how you like to tell the truth. But you already admitted that you lied. You gave literally different versions of events. So that means that that's a lie. It's not
Yeah.
a mistake. It truly isn't. It's a lie. And it's a lie. Maybe it was to protect Malaya. Maybe that's where the lies came from. But we don't know. We don't know. Only you truly know. Only people within your realm of your world truly know. But the minute you tell mistruths and talk about two sweaters and stuff like that, or two shirts, that if they're found with the kids, that you were set up, and, unfortunately, they just
Mhm.
don't grasp the velocity of the internet and true crime and what they can do. And they can make your life a living hell. They can, so always be wary of that. And if you're going to speak out, again, just tell your truth. And if you're one of those people that you know can't handle the heat and stuff like that, then don't speak out.
Darewood says, "Could someone please tell Sonny to stop talking and call me?"
Oh, wait, okay, does he want to talk?
You are long-winded, I'll give you that.
Well, Darren actually, me and him, I think Darren would take the prize over me. uh, we both can talk for sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, Darren wants to
that's
go.
a Pictonian thing for sure.
Yeah. You know what would have done that? You guys, a big super chat right across the screen because it forces me to listen to it because of the music. Okay. Give me a second, Darren. Let me go grab my phone. Go ahead, Nova. Say whatever you need to say.
I just concur with
One sec.
Sonny there about, uh, Daniel. His words never align with his actions, and not only, with the lying, but also with the saying, you know, he'll search for the kids forever. He'll, go to the ends of the earth to find these kids. but yet, when someone asks him, well, why haven't you gone to the reservation? And then he says he can't go there. It's too dangerous for him. Um, you know, and I mean, in my opinion, it's certainly not. There's a Mountie barracks right there, and I'm sure he could contact the chief and um, ask for discussions with the chief. But again, it's just his words are not aligning with his actions.
Okay. Calling Darren now.
Yeah.
Darren, I shut up, but I'm calling you. Let's make sure he's on full volume here. Come on now, you got to answer the phone though.
Hello.
Hi, Darren. How are you?
I was being funny. I didn't mean to insult you. I was just sort of trying to be a little funny there.
No, don't worry. I don't take it as an insult. I know I can talk, okay?
Okay. I'd like to just speculate for a minute.
Sure.
Just for a short minute on line, I guess.
Sure.
Are we listening? Are they listening? Are people listening to us right now?
Yes. You wanted that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Don't let Nova finish too. I won't interrupt her. Sorry.
No, it's okay. You're
I'm
good.
done.
Okay. Listen, folks, will you please, now I'm going to throw a little speculation at everybody because if I'm telling the truth, it's speculation anyway. So I want you to consider something. Everybody's screaming that the kids are missing. But would you consider this? Malaya hasn't been charged with anything yet. And so she actually holds custody of both Jack and Lily. Legally, she's their mother. So she can still transport Jack and Lily as she's their legal mother. And she can take them to her family, like on the reserve. The reserve isn't hiding the kids. The reserve is, this is my speculation now, folks. The reserve is not hiding the kids. The reserve is taking care of the kids and protecting the kids. And there's a very good reason why Malaya's not coming out right now is because there's some legal stuff going on. And if the kids turned up right now, then Malaya is automatically going to be charged with giving a false statement about them being in the woods, and then she'd be charged with giving a false statement about abduction. So she'd be pretty liable for a lot of one of the biggest most expensive searches in Canada, and she'd also be liable for falsifying a report about a criminal act, abduction. So her lawyer is probably advising her to be quiet, and it's probably good advice until there's a couple legal hearings in court going on, and there's a gag order on it all, so I can't say anything about it. But if this turns out to go in the favor of the sovereign nations, then I think you're going to see the kids publicly show up shortly after that decision. Because there's a struggle between the native CPS they have their own child protective services units, and there's a struggle right now legally in the courts between the native CPS and the Canadian CPS. So they're even okay. I almost slipped and said something about the hearing, and I can't do that.
Yeah. Be careful.
Yeah. I got a big mouth, you know that. And yes, I probably overrun you in the blabber department, Sonny. so I don't want to make a habit of that. But please consider that Malaya hasn't been charged. She's still Jack and Lily's mother. She still has full legal custody of Jack and Lily. So if she decided, now I'm saying this is speculation, people.
Speculation. Yeah,
it's going to come out later, and that's fine. And I think I'll be vindicated pretty good for all the criticism I've taken. But there's nothing illegal about what she tried to do. In other words, taking her children and leaving Lansdowne Road. There's nothing illegal about that. And there's nothing illegal that if she has her children and she put them in with her family on the reserve, the Brookses, and they're all around her, and there's nothing illegal about her doing that. So you've got to consider that everybody's screaming about she's hiding them and all that. No, they're not really being hidden. They're not really being hidden. They're speculating. They're with her family. And that's why she acts like she's not concerned about her missing children, because they're not really missing. that's speculation.
Yeah.
Now, there's one other thing I want to say, and I'll shut my gob.
Fine.
Everybody's screaming that if Malaya would just open her mouth and reveal the kids, then this would all be cleared up. Well, there's the reason why she's not doing that, is under legal advice. But there's something I want everybody else to look at. If the Rcmp would have opened their mouth on the third day, this wouldn't have been. The Rcmp are being a lot more silent than even Malaya is being. So it's the Rcmp that have dragged this out, and that'll be proven later, I'm sure. But for now, that's just my speculation. So people, don't take me that I know everything, because I certainly don't. And as far as Daniel did say a few lies, but and as far as me lying, you've got to understand some of the lies I told weren't even direct lies. So anyway,
well, no, go ahead.
That's all I want to say. I don't want to take over. I don't want to dominate. I just want to.
No, but
think about that. The kids were in the woods. There's no abduction. So the big crimes here are that Malaya made two mistakes. She told the cops two lies. And other than that, she hasn't done anything illegal as far as taking the kids to her family or transporting the kids wherever she wanted. So there's no big crime here. There's no murder. There's no nothing. There's a little scared girl, scared of confrontation, that tried to sneak away from a relationship, and it blossomed into this beautiful whatever you'd call it. So that's my speculation. Yeah. But I've got one wicked whack of circumstantial proof and testimony behind me. So thank you very much.
No, wait. I need to ask you something before you let me go, because it's bugging me.
Don't spin me off. Don't spin me off on something crazy now.
I'm not going to spin you off. Don't worry.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. I'll answer if I can.
Well, so no, it's probably something minor that you can clear up. I just wanted in my brain to understand, and I know this is what in regards to Janie, but you could clear this up. Janie, she did report all that stuff that day, right, to the RCMP? First day.
Statement to the Mounties.
Okay, that's all I wanted to hear, was because I think people think that she didn't report it.
She did. No, sir, she did right off the bat.
Okay.
And the other myth that's going on that everybody's built up in their magnificent brains is that they're saying Janie never allowed the Mounties into her trailer, and that's not the truth. Janie told the Mountie, the woman Mountie that asked into the trailer, she said, well, my dog's into the trailer, so if you want to go into the trailer, you might get bit. You might get bitten, so I'm not taking any responsibility if you get bitten by my dog. And then the Mountie pissed her off, because after Janie telling her that Lily made the dog bark, Lily screaming made the dog bark, you know what the Mountie said to her? Oh, well, maybe the chickens made the dog bark too, and that's all it took to piss Janie off.
Well, what was I just going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, if you can, I don't know if you can answer this one, but do you know anything about the cupboard? Something about Janie, something about her dog in the cupboard? Do you know where that?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know anything about any cupboard. I
haven't
heard anything about that. No.
Okay. Well, did your son take any slack from being on Dolly, or has it been okay?
No, he's not taking too much slack.
Okay.
My two boys, especially the oldest one, well, actually both of them, they're ready to rumble. And we caught a few people right out around Foxbrook already. And they were warned. And I'm telling you, it's not a safe place for idiots. The Geddes residents in Foxbrook, people, if you pay your money, take your chances. We're not playing.
Right. you know.
That's all I can say. Might be an empty threat, but might
Okay.
not be too. Okay.
Are you going to do a news interview?
CBC. I'm considering doing I've been talking to a journalist from CBC National News. I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
And believe it or not, Janie's thinking about it. And Janie said if I did the interview, she'd go on with me.
Okay. Well, that would be good.
So,
I mean,
I don't know because
yeah.
Janie's even more excitable than I am, so I'd like to have a really cool head and be calm. You know what I mean?
Well, they'll just edit that part out if you're not. So.
Well, I wasn't going to. I haven't been talking to anybody like you guys, and I certainly won't talk to Dolly again because I know what I'd like to. The conversation I'd have with that turd, it wouldn't be very nice. But you guys are the only ones I'd consider talking to, which I haven't talked to you in a while because I'm sick of any flashback. But I think people are starting to wise up a little bit. I think people are starting to use some more common sense.
Yeah.
And so things are calming down. That's for sure. And I hope this doesn't ignite more because. You know, I don't want that, and I am just trying to do what's right. I'm trying to.
I know.
And people, I'm telling you, it's the Rcmp that's got this dragged on, and I'll tell you one reason that the Rcmp are scared because when this does come out, let alone if those kids just come out alive, it's going to prove that I was telling the truth about a lot of stuff. The Rcmp are going to look like goofs, and they don't want another Oka. And I'm telling you, the boys on the reservations, they're wound up too. They don't want the Rcmp and CPS going on their land again, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Because the native CPS system is a lot better than the Canadian one. They take a lot better care of their kids and their people, and they're
yeah, you know what? I don't disagree with that. I was already reading up on that, and I don't doubt that Malaya's lawyer is Michael McDonald, the chief's brother on there.
No,
is it different?
I've been there, slipped and said something about court again, and I can't.
That's okay.
Yeah, no.
But is that name wrong? Is it wrong that I'm saying that? If I think that?
Let me think what all right, let's put it this way. If in any case like that, say the initial lawyer that's involved is a criminal lawyer,
right?
A specialist in criminal law.
Yeah.
And this case turns into a child protection services case,
right?
Wouldn't it be wise for the criminal lawyer to hand it over to an expert in child law?
Yeah, gotcha.
So, you know, in a lot of cases, I think that's what happens. So let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, today's the second anniversary for the month. Today's the second, so 2 months exactly today, Jack and Lily.
Isn't that sad for something that should have lasted 3 days?
Absolutely on that one. So, Darren, to you know, I am. Whenever you ever want to talk, you know, you have a space. I do. It would be nice if you and Janie did go on the news yourself, if you feel like that's what you would like to do. Anything, if it's anything to help bring awareness to Jack and Lily, and there's no culpability, you know, by the Martell side.
That's why I'm calling right now. I have no intention. There's just a couple things there's a couple people starting to ask sensible questions instead of crazy ones.
Yeah.
And those sensible questions deserve an answer. And if I have the answer, I'm more than glad to say it. You know, but there's so much crap that I don't want to light up more crap. But all I can say is I helped to prove that Daniel, no kid killer, they weren't sold for organs or they weren't sold for a drug debt or anything like that. But Daniel never killed the kids. They were never in the woods. This is all my great speculation. I put it that way. Take it that way for now. They were never in the woods, and 99% chance right now. Like, if I had to bet everything I own and every cent in my pocket against somebody who said those kids are not alive right now, I would bet against them.
Yeah.
So I might lose, but I'm very doubtful I'd lose.
Well,
because, okay, that's. I think I mouthed off enough. I really, and I'm.
No. So, well, just tell me one thing. Whose bright idea was it for Janie to go into a Facebook group?
Not mine.
Well,
Janie did that all on her own.
Yeah.
I didn't even know she did.
Yeah, well.
I never saw it on Facebook. I didn't. The first time I heard that, I think, was tonight. I listened to you guys for the first long stretch, like I was just sort of eavesdropping.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know about Facebook groups. Like I told you before, I'm learning a little bit about the internet.
Yeah.
But no, I had no idea, or I had no. I'm surprised she did.
Me too.
I'm surprised she did.
To be honest,
I think she's just getting so goddamn wound up that she wants to let rip.
Yeah, well, it's not a great idea, to be honest with you. The Facebook, no offense to you guys, but I know how Facebook groups are. Okay, there are people that want to know answers. They are on the attack, and then there's people that are nicer. Granted, but they really are a very toxic space to be in, and it's not a wise idea, honestly, because all you're doing is creating all these messages, and these messages get typos and all these things. But anyways, just let her know. Not such a wise idea, but
it's a fact of life. Some humans are decent, and some humans are nasty, and that's just that's a fact of life, I guess. And the internet sort of what would you call it? It magnifies that. Yeah, I guess.
I couldn't be asked to show all those.
So listen, people,
but anyways, okay.
My family doesn't want any trouble. My boys don't want anything to do with this. My family doesn't, and I got into it because of. See, my boys are from a different generation than the relatives over Truro. They don't realize that I grew up with those people, so they don't think I should have got involved at all. But what they don't realize is that I had a full life with my relatives over in Truro before they came along. There's 30 years of history there, and so I did. I got involved, and once I got involved, I got in too deep, too fast, and I had to finish it. So as far as I'm concerned. I've said where the kids are. I said they're alive. And it doesn't matter who took them, although I'm 99% sure I know who picked them up right at the side of the road. But that's speculation, because that other 1%, I really won't say that. And I'm just sure, to the point of one thing that I'm sure, and I said 1,000% before, is those children were alive on May the 2nd around 8:45 in the morning on May the 2nd. And I said that right from the start, and that's what started the investigating. Okay, if they were alive around that time of the morning on May the 2nd, well, Daniel certainly never killed them between then and the last day, Monday, before they went to school. And the only way he could have killed them was right in front of his mother and his woman and his baby in the driveway. So there's no murder. This is all blown up from a little scared girl trying to get her kids and sneak away, and that's all. And the Mounties blew it up because the Mounties didn't believe Daniel's testimony first, and Daniel was half lying first too. No wonder they didn't believe his. But they never even considered Janie's testimony the most truthful person out of it all. They never even looked that way. They got all excited. They thought they had a big child murder case, and the arrogant, incompetent knobs, they just charged straight into that. They thought they had a big case that they were going to solve, and it's just not there. It's just not there. So that's it.
I was going to say my one thing before I let you go. Obviously, well, two things. But so I know you already said this on here, but I just want to say it again. So you did say, and like speaking for Daniel, you did say that he admitted to lying to protect Malaya. Is that still correct?
Yeah, yes. And when he admitted that to me, he said he did right off the bat. He panicked himself. When Malaya said, when he realized, talking to Janie, that no, the kids weren't in the woods, he looked at Malaya, and I mean, he loved her, and he panicked himself.
Right. So
he just shithouse panicked, and that's. I mean, these people. Well, they're like me. Maybe I'm a little thick. Maybe they're a little thick, and they're not. They're not brain surgeons. They're just like myself. We're just old, just. Simple people. That's all we are.
Well, do you want to say, so before you go, do you want to say something just quickly about Jack and Lily to everybody?
I love Jack and Lily. And I'm sure that I feel happy in my heart, because in my heart I feel like they're being taken care of. I feel like they're in the best place they could be. And by the way, I'll tell you one thing about this court hearing that comes up, and it looks like I'm going to be called to testify. And there's going to be some surprises, in my opinion, because in my opinion, custody of let's put it this way, custody of any kids, if there's a contest between the Canadian Child Protection Services and a contest between them going to the Canadian CPS or the sovereign nation's native CPS, they'd be far better off in the sovereign nations.
Out of respect for Nova, because she's on this panel, can I let her ask you one question and then you can go?
How come this is about 6-1 questions?
Well,
okay,
because what happens is,
you'd make a good investigative journalist yourself. You should have been with the Mounties out there in that morning. I think you'd have solved it in about 2 hours.
It's because as you talk, then there's something that pops into my head. But Nova's, this is her first time being up here, and she's very passionate about the case. Can she just ask you one question?
Well, I'd be an awful arsehole if I said no.
Yes, you would. So you don't want to be that.
I don't. No, I'm enough. I can be an arsehole, but not right now. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Nova.
Go ahead, Nova.
I don't really have any questions. You were going to touch on you were going to touch on the time somebody had asked there, the 6:10 a.m. That's really my only question, because that's kind of confusing me as well.
Okay,
here's my take on that, but now, and I've got a pretty good take on it now because Janie straightened me out a couple times on my timeline.
Okay, yeah.
Janie has this stuff recorded right on her phone. She has the exact timeline right of everything, right down to the minute. It started at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Janie's brother Ron called her at 6 o'clock in the morning. Janie was sleeping and she missed the call, but she heard the phone ring. She called Ron back at roughly 6:10 or 6:15. I think it was 6:10. She called Ron back. So that was the earliest Janie was up and stirring around. But it was quite a while after that, as far as I understand, that Janie never really went back to sleep. She dozed off again or whatever. Now clarify this with Janie when she talks, because she's going to talk. She's talking, and she'll say what she wants to say, and she has no problem correcting me or anybody else, and that's fine, because that's what I want. So Janie will tell you exactly what time she heard Malaya and the kids come out the back door. She will tell you exactly how she heard Lily and Jack and her dog got excited, and she will tell you exactly the time. She will tell you exactly the time she went up to the driveway, and if you wanted. If somebody, I would advise people to go in there now for her to show them physically, because she did when she started trusting me. She showed me physically twice, just everything that happened, right from the boot print and the soft gravel that she just filled the hole with, right to everything. And God bless her, man. If you ever heard anybody tell the truth, it's Janie McCann. And by the way, I've seen comments on there that even people are saying Janie's a liar. Well, boys. Anybody that says Janie McKenzie's a liar is a complete idiot. And that's what I got to say about that one. And this is all in her statement directly to the Rcmp. Sworn statement, and when it goes to court, you'll find out that it'll be a sworn affidavit taken as evidence, and you can't get much better receipts than that other than a live video. Right. So
you could tell her to message me on Messenger and answer me, because I'm not out there to sit there and try to slag her and stuff like that. I'm just trying to figure out a timeline of the whole thing to put together. That's all
Janie's the one who has it.
Yeah. Well, tell her to message me on Messenger.
I'm better at, because Janie called me twice and said, listen, you made a mistake. And she said, you lied. And I said, what do you mean? What did I lie about, Janie? Well, one thing I was 15 minutes off. That's Janie.
Because it counts. Janie. It makes a difference. It does, right? So that's just it, right? When you're trying to remember stuff from somebody else, and then yeah, of course. So she probably took a stick to your butt there, and
there's still, look at this. There's still idiots on there. Sworn statements like Daniel's lies. So they're saying that Janie's sworn statements are lies too. This is what gets me. I'm telling you, person who if you were in front of me and call Janie McKenzie a liar, you get your bells rung. Not my me, but you get your bells rung some hard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's all I got. Please let me
Okay.
go now. Please let me go.
I'll let you go. He let me go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell Janie to message me though. Janie. Okay. You have a great night on there.
You too, guys.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Darren.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay, so that was very nice for him to call in. So my husband was trying to knock on the door, and you guys, I literally ignored my own husband who was knocking on the door because obviously he understands, of course, that it's very important. Again, I don't care what anybody else thinks, okay, at all. You guys have your own opinions. Please keep it respectful in chat. If you happen to get booted out of here because a mod decided that you were being too ignorant or aggressive or rude, then so be it, okay? It's not about the subscriptions and having everyone in here, right? I have to myself stick to who I am, and it has to be a channel that runs off respect towards each other, care and kindness, okay? So if you can't be that way, I'll probably tear a strip out of your ass because you deserved it, but just be nice, okay? Be kind. Darren, thank you for calling in. Again, it's the second anniversary of course, Jack and Lily. It's about bringing awareness to this case regardless. So if Darren and Janie do a CBC interview, great. What happens, right? The news grabs hold of it again, takes it goes across the internet again, and it's about bringing awareness, right? So if the truth is being told, then there's no problem doing interviews, right? No problem at all. And so why not keep awareness to Jack and Lily? That's the whole point of this, all of this, is what happened to Jack and Lily. Since we don't know what happened to Jack and Lily, all we can do is take the information that's coming into us. But at the end of the day, it's about what happened to Jack and Lily and just bringing the awareness out there. Like, that's the top thing we can keep doing for the family, regardless if you think Daniel's lying or Malaya's lying or Janie's lying or this is lying. Janie, come on now. Stop talking in the Facebook groups. I message you on Messenger. All right? Message me. Just saying. Okay? I'm not going to sit there and try to trash you or anything like that, Janie, but hey, it's up to you at the end of the day. I'm not going to pressure you. Janie, just message me right now, please. Okay? If you're a strong woman, I'm a strong woman. But anyways, Logan, I called you Logan. Nova.
Oh dear.
Did you fall on me? I called you Logan.
So the 6:10 or 15, I thought it was 6:15. What was it that was there something you were going to touch on with that? Because I'm still very confused by that, even by his answer there.
Oh, okay. So I'm not going to lie. I was just letting him talk and I wasn't listening to that answer. I kind of veered off to the chat.
Yeah.
And he said something about 6:15 was in the morning. I would have to, okay, can you guys help me out here? Because honestly,
he said she was up at 6:15 and then she was up again later, and that's all he said. So he didn't really answer it. But what was said on your show when him and Belinda were talking was that Malaya was out at the end. That's when she was out at the end of the driveway, and Belinda had said, well, that's when she called the school, and you have to be out at the end of the driveway for the phone to be able to make a call, because Belinda herself had to walk to the end of the driveway to make a phone call. So, which that to me would made sense and lined up. And Daniel had shown her the phone calls on the phone, so she confirmed that those calls were made to the school on those days at that time. So yes, indeed, that would make sense that she would be at the end of the driveway at that time because she had to call
she had to get service.
Yeah.
She had to get service. So she called Friday. Thursday was 6:17 on, according to Daniel. Friday was 6:18, right? But obviously, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Yeah, because Darren said that kind of have to go up to a certain point to go this way to get service,
Yeah.
right?
Well, Belinda did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, Darren said it as well.
Oh, did he? Okay, I didn't hear him
Mhm.
say it. I heard
Yeah.
Belinda say it.
Yeah. No, Darren did as well.
Yeah, so I guess that's where I'm confused because so then she saw her again later at the end of the driveway because she, according to Malaya, she fell back asleep um, around between 8 and 8:30 because just before she dozed back off, she heard that's when she knew the kids were up because she could hear them play in the room, and then dozed off back to sleep. So but according to Janie, she came back out and was at the end of the driveway again. That's where I'm kind of stuck.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Um, so I don't even was this all talked about in the Facebook group? Some of this timing, is that where that stuff came from, or was it
No.
Darren saying it on our live about
No, I
6:50?
don't I don't look at that Facebook stuff. I'm talking about um the
Well,
the
we're so
the times are changing like
right,
um you know because at first it was later in the morning that they noticed the kids were first missing
right.
and that Janie come out of the trailer and, um, so was that when she saw Malay at the end of the driveway, or did she
Well,
we
I
can
need to.
confirm 100% Malay was at the driveway around 6:15 because she had to go there to call the school, so
Well, it's
we
changed a couple times because at first originally it was 8 o'clock, then it became around 9 o'clock.
Right, and now it's 6 something.
So
So
now
that's
it's six
like, I'm
something.
just trying to figure out, did Janie see Malay at the end of the driveway a couple of times, like at
Right.
6:15 when she was
Okay.
out there to call the school,
Gotcha.
which we know that is 100% true 'cause, Belinda confirmed that Daniel showed her those phone calls on the phone, so I believe Belinda. Anything Belinda says, I to me is 100% fact. That's the only
Mhm.
thing to me that is 100% fact is what Belinda is saying.
Mhm.
So, I'm trying to understand, well,
Well,
when was it
good
that
fight. The scientist.
Janie saw her at the end of the driveway again when she supposedly put the kids in the car is where I'm
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I need to go talk to my husband for a minute.
Yep,
Um, I do need to go speak to my husband for a minute. Um, let me see here.
because at 6:15, she wasn't putting them in a car, obviously, she was calling the school. So, did Janie come
Oh,
back out again?
Cindy said, Sonny, Janie answered in the chat 9 a.m., heard her and the kids, and minutes later, it was just MBM and the baby when she came out. Right. So I don't know. Cindy, I need to go talk to my husband for a second. Cindy,
Is Janie in this chat right now?
I think she was talking. Cindy, are you talking about the chat that she was speaking in yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday.
Oh, when she was on Facebook chat.
Yeah. If anyone is a little bit of a digger for information, Cindy, um, can you tell us about? Can you clear that part up about that? Because 9 a.m. Obviously, she wouldn't be loading some kids into a car at 6 something in the morning, and her see her then and then at 9 o'clock, right? I'm serious. Is there a gag order? A gag order on who? The gag order was made by the family courts. You're talking about the children. Different story. Different story. Belinda. Okay, I need to go speak to my husband. I need to go see what he wanted. Uh, just if you want to just look at people's comments, can you see the comments in chat?
Yep.
Nova, that's not when the kids left, though. Oops, someone just said that. Ken.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm asking. So Malay was supposedly at the end of the driveway twice then, I guess, is what's the story is?
Ken, can you just clear that up and I'll be right back? Can you clear that up? Please. I'm going to
Because
listen.
that's where the timelines are important, right?
Yeah. And there's only 218 likes, you guys. Come on now. There's 530 people 32 people watching this, and only 213 likes. This is for Jack and Lily. Belinda's in the chat. If you guys can sit there, Alana King, Darren's in the chat. Do this for Jack and Lily, guys. Don't do it for the channel. Do it for Jack and Lily, please. Keep the awareness out there. You guys are the ones that make the difference that way. Okay, so please, if you guys hit that like, if you haven't hit that yet, because there's 213. I'm gonna go speak to my husband. By the time I get back, 300. Right, Miss First? 300. Yeah, and on and on and on and on. I'm pretty sure you friendly requested me some.
Rosebud, I know he said that she did it online, but Belinda confirmed that she saw that it was phone calls on Daniel's phone. That's what Belinda said, phone calls. And that's why I'm saying with Daniel, like, there's so many discrepancies in what he says. And I mean, I'm going with what Belinda's saying. Belinda said he showed her the phone and when the phone calls were made. And so if Belinda says they're phone calls, I believe that. I have a hard time believing anything Daniel says now, honestly. I mean, I just can't, because once you've proven to lie over and over and over again, it's only common sense that you don't really believe that person anymore, and especially about something so important as the blanket, and him saying that wasn't that wasn't Lily's. I mean,
You guys, Kent's going to come on for a minute and try to help clear up this timeline for us, you said on there. Sorry, my brain is like,
yeah,
right now.
it's easier to do that stuff when you're
so
on
he
too and not on in chat.
I need to send this over. And Nova, I know this kind of live has gone a little bit sideways a little bit.
No, not really.
There,
That's how they are.
If you
Goes
have to drop off because you need to go to bed and you're really tired or
No.
something, let me know, okay?
I took a nap. I took a nap before I come on.
Nova?
Hi,
Nova.
can you hear me?
Nova.
I'm
Where'd
here.
you go, Nova? I can't hear you.
Can the chat hear me?
Because you're talking. Oh, my bad, Nova. It's not a you problem. Guess what? It's a me problem.
No.
Kent called, and I had to turn down the volume. So, my bad.
Sonny, you cracked me up.
I cracked myself up half the time.
I was saying I took a nap, so don't worry about it.
Okay. So Kent's going to join us, like I said, in just a second here. Here he is, right here.
And I think it's nice when lives flow just naturally. Have that natural flow to them, Sometimes they go off course, but it's kind of nice.
Yep.
Hi, Kent.
Hi, Nova. How are you?
Good.
Well, I was asking Sunny if she wants. I'm not saying that I'm right on the timeline, but I know your confusion and a lot of people's confusion, as well as my own. I don't think that we can take any of Daniel or Malaya's timeline as accurate.
Yep, I agree.
But what I pieced together from Darren, Janie, and the other stuff that I've seen, and I've heard on police dispatch audio and stuff like that, is the 6:10, 6:15. That would be when Janie's brother called her. She missed the call. She called them back. whether they talked or not, I don't know.
So that just happened to be at the same time Malaya went.
No. Just leave it at that. That's it. Malaya would have been out. Like I say, Malaya would have been out at calling the school.
Yeah,
shortly
that's what I'm
after
saying.
that, because it was 6:17 one day and 6:18 the next day. So I guess there would be 3 minutes there.
Yeah,
if you look at that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It happened
But
to be
that's
the
not
same
when
time.
the kids, if you believe Darren's scenario, that's not when the kids went missing. The kids were picked up about 8:45 to 9. Now, the only thing that I take from Daniel Malaya's timeline, because I heard it corroborated with the dispatch audio, was that, and everybody's getting tied up on that they reported them missing at 8:00. It wasn't that they were reported missing at 8:00. It's that they were last seen
heard. Yeah, last seen
at
and heard.
8:00.
That's
so
right.
that, to me, that means the last time that Lily poked her head in the bedroom and Daniel seen her was at around 8:00.
That's right. Yeah.
Then the last time, and then they, between that and 8:45 is when they, if you believe Darren's story, that's when they would have get picked up. And then the 911 call was made at 9:43, as far as we can tell, without having confirmation from the Rcmp.
Yeah, well, they say 10, but they're just averaging. Yeah.
And then they were on scene within 12 to 13 minutes. And then Malaya's mother was another 16 minutes after that.
Yeah, I know.
So that's
I know all that. Yeah,
that's the best of the timeline. And like you say, the time when Janie was up to call her brother back, and when Malaya was out at the end of the road.
Is, did Janie see her? What was there twice that Malaya was at the end of the driveway?
Well, I don't know. I can't speak for Janie whether she's seen her. Right. It's just that the timeline is overlapping there.
Right.
Because if she called her brother back at 6:15 and Malaya was out reporting the kids, remember, Friday was 6:18.
Yep.
Thursday was 6:17.
Yeah. So the only thing for me that we can confirm as fact is that morning, for a fact, she did go to the end of the driveway to call the kids into school.
He went somewhere to get signal, yes.
At around 6:15. And we can confirm it because Belinda actually saw that on the phone that Daniel showed her, which I wholeheartely believe Belinda. Belinda would not lie.
Exactly, yeah.
Sonny, what were you saying? That
I want to say this first and foremost. I need you guys to stop over talking each other because it's so hard to hear. Let someone finish a thought, you guys, obviously, because I can see that it's going on. And so when you're answering, let her take a moment and let Nova answer because she's trying to say, I've already heard that here. I'm trying to ask you, but the audience, it's so confusing to the eardrums when you guys are over talking each other. So just say something and then let the other person speak. For if you guys, sorry, no disrespect to you guys, but I can hear it and you guys are over talking. And if I can hear it, they're saying it in chat as well. Now, sorry. So Nova, you said you were going to say, Sonny, you were saying what?
When he had said the timeline of when they were last seen / heard.
Yeah, that's not true.
Was between 8 and 8:30. That's what they did say on the radio.
Correct. They did say that. They did say that. They said that they were last seen, but Daniel has told a version that they called the police at 10 o'clock, and he said that about 20 minutes, right? That they were only gone about 20 minutes. And he said that Lily had come in and out of the room and then he dozed off. So there's no way 8 o'clock to 8:30, meaning either Daniel's lying Or the truth is, because Malaya did text Belinda and say 8 to 8:30.
Yeah.
But Daniel's version of events, I mean, you guys know that this whole part is a bunch of lies. For whatever reason, they're lies, okay?
Right.
That's what they
And
are.
like I said, when you're searching for children, if if Daniel said 9, whatever, and Malaya said between 8:30, they would have to go with that earlier time because they're
Right.
trying to figure out the distance of what a 4 and 6-year-old
Absolutely.
can travel.
That's
So they're
true.
not going to go with 9 something because you know what I'm saying? If the
Right.
kids left,
Absolutely.
yeah.
The 9 something is when they were called and reported missing. The
No.
8 o'clock is when it was right on the dispatch audio where the officers said to the dispatch that they were last reported. They said the 6-year-old girl wearing a pink shirt, the 4-year-old boy wearing a pull-up and dinosaur boots, and they were last seen at 8 a.m. And they said, get back there and get a good statement from the mother and get it recorded.
Correct.
They actually said that on dispatch audio. So if we're taking like time frames, that's the best evidence that we have of the last time they were seen. Not when they were reported missing, because that's whenever the 911 call went in, and not when they actually went missing, because that's when Janie caught Malaya, if you believe that scenario, at the end of the driveway.
Right.
And it's not guaranteed that you would have to go completely to the end of the driveway every time to get signal. It all depends on weather and everything else, but you definitely would have to go out because they're in that gully. So you'd have to go out to get out by the hill to be able to get your reception to make your call, right?
I'm going to squeeze in here for a second. So, yes.
Anyways, I just wanted to try to help understand that. You guys have a good weekend. Probably keep an eye on a little bit, but I won't be around much. It's
I know you're at the Lobber
be a
Fest.
busy weekend, so.
Okay, Ken, have a good
We'll
one.
talk to you later.
Thanks, Ken.
Happy birthday, Sonny. Tomorrow. Kent, he left already, bugger. Okay. So, kick from studio. I always got to kick him for some reason. All right, we'll go back to us here. So, so bottom line was with that is that yes, on the scanner radio, right? That's our best bet of going by what was said then. We know that Malaya sent Belinda, I'm calling her Mama, Belinda, the message. We have that.
That's right.
Proof. 8 to 8:30. Now, yes, it was said last seen, but for the fact that Daniel literally said 10, so we know that the police said around 10 o'clock a call came in, right? Malaya says that the children is like 9:40. Okay, whatever. Bottom line was, though, is that Daniel literally came out and said that Lily came in and out of the room. It was only about 20 minutes that Lily came in. So he's saying, obviously, it's not 8:30 because the phone call didn't happen till close to 10 o'clock, regardless.
That's right.
Exactly.
And he did say that. You're totally right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's again. So where is the truth in all the bullshit? It's because right. And so what Nova's trying to understand is, did Janie say that there was 2 times? It's coming across like there's 2 times that she saw Malaya, right? Once in the morning, once when the kids were bye-bye type of thing in a vehicle, which is around 9 o'clock for that. And right. And so how can it be seeing? So that's where Janie could clear that up, because obviously, again, I'd have to go back and listen to what Darren said on that. I was too busy focused on chat, and I'm like a squirrel sometimes.
Well, he didn't really say anything. He just said that he confirmed the 6 something time, but then he said as far as the other time, you'd have to ask her that.
I'm hot. It's been super hot. I mean, shoot, if I could just spray my face right now, that's so hot on there.
Yeah.
Honestly,
But I guess for me, the only thing to me that is fact, that a time that is fact that
yeah,
morning
and
is the
yourself.
6:15, because Belinda confirmed that she saw that on the phone. Daniel showed her that on the phone. So if he
Did
showed
Belinda
that
say
to her,
that?
yeah, she said that in your live.
Did she? Hi,
Yeah,
Belinda. Belinda.
yep.
Of course
She
she did.
said she said she said
I, I vaguely remember, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. Well, Darren had said that about the 6:15,
Yeah.
and about Malaya being in the driveway then, and then Belinda said, "Okay, well that makes sense, because that's when she called the kids into school, out of school, and that you have to go to the end of the driveway." And yeah, and what was and then she said, and I know that because Daniel showed it to me on his phone.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
just because somebody has Starlink doesn't mean, I mean, I think we heard everyone talk about his family that the reception was bad. I mean, we literally heard it on the scanner radio,
Yes, it
right?
is.
So I don't know why someone is going, well, Starlink, they have Starlink, so they
No,
can just go around the
no,
house and call.
doesn't
They
matter.
can't. Think about
No,
what the scanner said, guys. Think about why the police had to drive her up further to get reception, because it's only in certain spots, right? So if you
that's
want to
right.
send pictures, they had a driver. So that's kind of common sense on that. They've already spoken about that on the thing. So it's not like they have Starlink and they're going, woohoo, party over here, got internet speed, 5.0 type of thing. Not happening. There definitely is some inconsistencies. Um, you know, one of the okay. So one of the things that I do want to play from Dolly um, is what Jordan said. Okay. Happy birthday, Sunny. It's 12 a.m. here. There we
That's
go.
right. Happy birthday. It's 12:01.
8990 Yeah, Ken, wish me happy birthday now. Come on, you guys. Happy birthday to me. Okay. I was
You
born in
said
BC though.
56, did you say?
56 and yeah, counting
Yep, I'm
downwards.
53.
Yeah, suck it up, Buttercup, right? We'll just we'll age like fine wine like this, yeah.
Yep.
Tomorrow I'm going out with my sister. I'm having fish and chips. I'm doing a live tomorrow with
Good.
Alexa, criminal profiler. Okay, so join me for that tomorrow, guys. I have to do up a thumbnail for it still. But after that, yeah. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my life after that. Eat
Good
dinner.
night. Good night, Kent. Enjoy the carnival.
Enjoy the carnival, Kent.
That's one of the best carnivals here.
Bills to pay. That's a birthday present from Drippy. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Sunny, whoever you are. Troll.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll make sure it goes to something good on there. Thanks, Drippy. Thanks so much for that. Wasn't expecting it. Don't think because I'm saying it's my birthday, I'm expecting a bunch of donations. It's just, it is my birthday tomorrow. And I'm kind of and I normally don't usually, like, it's only on here. I sometimes say it because it's kind of like we're a family, on
Yes.
here. Other than that, I don't really ever celebrate my birthday. And usually, if anything, like I said, it's with my twin sister. But I don't know why. Something about me is just wanting to say it's my birthday. It's at work.
Yeah.
I left a thing because there's a girl at work that's the same birthday as me. So I left a thing at the end of the night on the chat, and I was like, "Happy birthday to Sunny and Raj," from Nadia, who gave me candies for my birthday at work. She said, "What do you want, Sunny?" And I said, "A bunch of candies, zero free for diabetes."
I was going to say they better been for diabetes.
That's what I got. Thank you, Drippy.
That's the nurse in me.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Yeah. So at least I have a twin to grow older with, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's nice. But thank you. Thank you, guys. Splash it around. Yeah. Look at all you guys. Go ahead. Thanks, Travis. All right. Keep going. All right. I'm just soaking it all in really fast here. Thanks, Bree. Bree's birthday's today, but Bree, technically in Nova Scotia, yours would be over with. So, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Short. So what I want to talk about was a couple things, especially. Okay. One thing that I want to talk about was about are the RCMP clueless. Now, Jordan was on Dolly the other day, right? Basically, defending his dad and saying, please don't attack. And I'm like, oh, dude, oh, you gotta people, they try to do something good, but just knowing but Darren did say that he hasn't had a ton of slack from it, but hopefully he stays quiet more because if he keeps talking, he's definitely going to feel the brunt of social media like his father has. So I'm going to pull up that for a second. Share screen. Thanks, Cam. Dolly. Okay. Dolly Vision. I know Darren says that he's mad at Dolly Vision, but come on, he is funny.
He is
Come
funny.
on, he is funny, Darren. Might not have been at the right time that he talked about muffins, but he is pretty funny. He is entertaining. I would rather be entertained, myself personally. So I do like it when people are more livelier personalities versus bookworms. Sorry, bookworms, but
Well, and I think it was because Darren had started off saying how he was having not such a good day, and
yeah,
Dolly was just trying to be funny to
I
get him
know. But
But
he was, I mean, I literally myself was cringing.
oh,
I'm
me
like,
too.
Dolly, I'm like, this isn't the time or the place. Can't you tell yet? After the
Yeah.
first time, and then he did it again, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Dolly.
He might have been getting him back for the GD word.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So this card I'm going to play specifically about what Jordan says about the RCMP. He talks about it twice. I think I'm a little ahead of myself. I'm going to start it from the 26 mark. So I believe that's, oh my God, a nice big breeze of coolness came my way. Anyways, so I want you to pay attention to what he says about RCMP. So let's do that.
Cousin.
For sure.
And he's friends with Daniel and Daniel's brothers and his family. So that's what I mean, that he's close to both sides.
Friends with the brothers of the family. Yep. No, I'm not going to start clarifying too much. It's just I can't stand the thought of people trash and people showing up, me chasing them away. Taking pictures. The RCMP showed up and said that I was in the front yard of my house where my father doesn't live no more because him and my mother are separated.
Okay. Did they separate behind this? What's going on?
No, they separated 8 years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it's out of proportion with everything. I don't know quite what it is, but why would I be would I be in the front yard with Daniel's kids and Malaya in the fucking yard with Meadow?
Okay, they're saying you were in the front yard of your house with Meadow.
Okay. So the reason why I played that part, and maybe Darren will be able to clarify this, because he makes it sound like the RCMP showed up because people are saying that Jack and Lily are in his yard. Okay. So I'd like clarification on that one myself, because if the RCMP showed up because they got a call saying that the children were in front of this house, that would mean that they don't have an effing idea where the children are, because obviously if they know where the children are, then they wouldn't show up in front of his house. So I would like clarification on that one, because the way it comes across is that the RCMP came because they were told that Jack and Lily were in the front of the yard, and they came to, see the trolls, check it out and stuff. Is that how you kind of took that? Or did you take it differently, or did you even listen? You're muted, by the way.
Sorry. I was coughing. Yeah, totally agree with you. Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Well, to me, why would they show up unless it's so if they're showing up for trolls, but the way it came across was that they showed up because they heard that Jack and Lily and they had to check it out.
Right.
So If that's the case, then that means that they don't have a clue where Jack and Lily are.
That's right. And my thoughts as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. And so you guys, again, I'm just trying to be fair to the wording. Okay. So if it's error and he didn't mean it that way, but that's the way it came across. So to me, if I hear that, that tells me the RCMP are clueless, because they wouldn't show up if they thought Jack and Lily, if they already knew where they are. I mean, there is a $150,000 reward. That has to mean something.
That's right.
Right? It has to mean something. Okay. Sometimes beyond all my talking, there are some good points in there. Yeah. So, okay. And the other thing I want you guys to watch, and I have to find it, it was from that interview, and it's right towards the end here. And I want to play that. So, Darren, if you could clarify with Jordan on that, please, because because that's what it sounded like. And so I don't want to misconstrue that, because that's a very important information about if the police actually know where Jack and Lily are. So if they showed up because of the fact of Jack and Lily were reportedly in the front of this house, please do clarify on that one with Jordan, with Jordan, if you could. And Jordan, if you're watching, please clarify. Thank you. Okay, so the other thing that I thought was really important, so I decided I would listen to all 47 minutes of that video that is on Hidden in the Fog. Okay. So a lot of people are only playing a certain portion of it, the first 9 minutes, basically, or 7 minutes to 9 minutes. But I was listening to the whole thing. And this Cheryl person was speaking, and she didn't, a lot of the stuff she said was, I'm not going to talk about that because of Malaya. Okay. I do want to point out, though, I do want to point this out, just only because I was sent that picture of a close-up of the beach pic. And if you look through the glasses, there are a couple of male individuals in those glasses. Take that as you want. Bottom line is, that's why sometimes when people have those glasses, the shiny ones on, sometimes they forget that you can see the reflection through the glasses on there. But I'm just going to point that one out, so anyone that wishes to go back and look at it can go right. I know Sloan Bella, who didn't, obviously nothing's happened, Sloan Bella. So, but anyways, she said, I believe Malaya has a new boyfriend. Who knows? Maybe she's living a life. Maybe she knows that the children are fine and is just exactly doing that, living her life, waiting for everything to work its way out. I mean, she did tell Belinda she has 100% confidence in the RCMP, right? So again, now what I thought was important about this one is that what I personally saw by the two sides talking, beyond the lies, because there have been lies, let's not make no mistake about that, is that, and whatever those lies are about, obviously, people really should clear them up, because you can't portray something to the news and then all over social media have a different story about all this stuff, because on social media, the news, it's portrayed that Daniel is just relentless in his pursuit, to find Jack and Lily. But hey, Mama says that they took off in the vehicle. So why would at any point you search in the woods past certain things? But what he's portraying online is totally different than what he's portraying to the news, right? So when you mix that with a bunch of lies, how are people supposed to believe you? It doesn't matter if you say you passed a polygraph test, because everyone knows that a great liar can pass a polygraph test. So that's why that really doesn't hold that much weight, Daniel. So it's one of those things that, although you might have a smirk about it and think, hey, this is my proof, it's not. It's truly not. It's just something that you might know yourself and that passed. But everyone knows that there's a good reason why they're not held in court is because people can fool the lie detector tests. And if you were asked only certain questions, like you said, maybe Daniel was asked more. And in the interview, maybe they cut it out a little bit. Maybe they trimmed it. maybe he was asked some more baseline questions. It's really hard for me to believe that they literally just went right at it and go, well, now that you're hooked up, did you kill Lily and Jack? It's kind of hard for me to believe that they did. But so Daniel, just from everyone's point of view, although you might think that you passed and you might have no knowledge of Jack and Lily, but why would you lie? Why would you lie for Malaya? Dumbass move. Dumbass move. You know, women do a lot of stupid shit for men. Men do stupid shit for women by the same token as well. But this is involving Jack and Lily. It's no time for games and it's no time for lies. And if you made some lies, obviously you would have corrected those. But, you know, because you put yourself out on social media, it would probably do you some good to correct any misinformation you have. And honestly, it doesn't have to be this channel. You could just go to your own channel and create a video and just say, hey, you know what? I am sorry that I did, you know, give out misinformation. Here's the reason why. I do apologize, right? And get some respect back, in a sense, because honestly, it's easy to type messages to people and hide that way. But they get twisted, as we know. Things can get easily twisted. But at the end of the day, there's something that I've been, like I said, looking at. From Malaya's side, what I'm perceiving from Malaya is a controlling personality of Daniel, that she didn't want to be there, that the relationship seems to have been rocky, that she wanted out, so much so that she took off. Now, we cannot forget that Daniel said himself that Malaya's family accused him of having something to do with Jack and Lily. We all know that Malaya left regardless after the briefing. Her mother spoke to her, according to Daniel, according to Logan, people that were there. Belinda was not there for that part of it, so she doesn't know. But obviously, it was more in the evening time that happened. I guess apparently there was 2 altercations, or whatever anyone wants to deem it as 2 altercations. Regardless, there was some arguing going on, finger pointing, etc. Bottom line is, Malaya left, and she left. She did 1 interview. And I can't stop saying this. That interview sucked ass, Malaya. It sucked so much ass that honestly, I can't even stop talking about it when I talk about it, because from A to Z, that whole interview was a crock of shit. Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
Oh, you disagree? Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
And also, the fight had to do with the blanket. The first one.
The first one.
Yeah, the second one was over the car or whatever. But the first one had to do with Daniel stating that the blanket wasn't Lily's. And then, yeah. And then they started saying stuff to him that he had something to do with this. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So let me play this part.
And that's out of Daniel's own mouth on Dolly's.
I was going to say, I mean, I love differences of opinions. I do. In chat, if you do, just keep it respectful. But yeah, it's kind of like me and Kent and Charmaine. Like Kent said to me the other day, Sonny, is the heat getting to you? Basically, did you, like, you wake up with something hitting your head today? Because I totally did the whole fishy emoji, because I flip-flop between the two. Because one minute I think that Daniel's telling the truth, next minute I think Leia's, that this is true. And so at the end of the day, honestly, it still doesn't matter what we think. It's what happened to Jack and Lily.
That's right.
And who did what? If anybody did anything, of course, which obviously, yeah, it's a criminal investigation. Let's get real. But there's something that stood out to me as I was listening to Cheryl as she stayed on, and Logan and her, you could feel like this animosity a bit. You definitely could. They're talking about a blanket. Logan's basically like, it almost came off like, bitch, I was there. I know. This is my cousin. Like, da-da-da-da. And then Cheryl's like, well, I don't know. I was just told and that it was on the rail. I don't know. And then, Susan jumps in and says, hey, you can't say that it's fact or present it near fact if it's not, right? So this whole little, you could just feel it. And bottom line is, honestly, there's no need to be negative towards each other. Everyone, if you're coming up out of the woodwork to try to tell the story, you know, your truth, but absolutely, if somebody tells you something, it's not fact. If you were there and saw it, that's fact for you, right? And again, if you present yourself properly, then and become believable, right? Then you got the crowd behind you. But the minute things get twisted and said and stuff like that, thank you so much, Darlene. I swear, I think that Rick Roll, Sasha Walden got that. Oh no, there it is. Let you down. You're back. Okay. I didn't know you were gone, but let's pretend like I knew that. All right. Don't forget to hit that like and share, you guys, for Jack and Lily. Okay. So, oops, I took it down. Let me go back to it.
I listened to this whole thing too, Sunny, because
okay.
I was kind of surprised there was more at the end.
Mm-hmm. So I'll play the stuff that stood out to me, and you in a minute you're gonna talk to me about this, and talk to me, if you don't mind, about the interview. Okay. And so let me play this part. I know it was right towards the end. So right now, because I thought my live was a half an hour later, I was going to have it exactly prepared on the right time. So I think I'm in the right area here. If I start it, I'm just going to start it right here.
Not since she got with him.
Okay. Did you text each other?
Yeah, hold on.
She did everything and anything.
One.
Let's do this.
Who has come out publicly and spoken about Malaya in any way, shape, or form, one way or the other. And what she happens to say is actually extremely positive about Malaya. And, you know, it's wonderful. Her testimony is, and that is what it is. It's a testimony on who Malaya is. And it's
okay, I'm going to stop it here for a second. So this is where Susan, the TikToker, okay, this is when she's going on and on about Belinda, praising her, saying that Belinda is the only person that's literally came out and said something really about Malaya. And so from that interview, you guys know the one that Belinda did, right? So she's giving her praise towards Belinda. And Belinda, absolutely. Not like Belinda's looking for praise. She just wants to find out what happened to her damn grandchildren. That's it. Right? But she did an interview and she was very open about her son, about Malaya, how Malaya was, the differences and stuff like that. So that's what Susan is talking about right here. So I do want to play. So I am going to go back to this point.
Often be much more, what their feelings are much more valid than anybody else. So I was just wondering if you had that conversation with her.
Yes, we definitely have talked about it. But again, I don't want to touch on anything that has to do with her personally right now.
Okay, I'm just reading chat.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I do have to run though, Susan. I've got to head into work, but like
no problem.
I appreciate you letting me join the live, and I will pass along everything that anybody has said for Malaya, and I know she appreciates all the support and all the good comments and all the prayers and thoughts that everybody has sent to her.
I think that Cody Sullivan's mom has done an enormous amount for Malaya, because she is the only one. She is the only one who has come out publicly and spoken about Malaya in any way, shape, or form, one way or the other. And what she happens to say is actually extremely positive about Malaya. And, you know, it's wonderful. Her testimony is, and that is what it is. It's a testimony on who Malaya is. And it's absolutely a wonderful thing that she has said.
Yes, and everything that she has said is 100% true. I was telling Karen, I've known Malaya for years, and Lily and Jack were taken care of so well. And she did everything and anything with them. She was so patient with them. She was very soft spoken. They were always clean. She lived in a nice environment. So everything that Belinda touched on is 100% the truth.
Okay. All right. Did you ever, just out of curiosity, did you ever visit Malaya and Daniel when they were living in the trailer, or visit Malaya and Daniel at any point?
Not since she got with him.
Okay. Did you text each other back and forth? Did you talk on the phone?
No.
Okay. So, and how long has she been with Daniel?
2 years, I believe.
Okay. So you were out of contact with Malaya for 2 years then?
Everybody was, yep.
Nobody said she's not cooperating with the police.
Okay.
Nobody.
Okay. And then you rekindled your friendship, I guess, after this happened.
Yes.
Did you meet Daniel when you were down at the search?
Later Friday night.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We didn't speak or anything. It was kind of just hi and a bye, basically.
Okay. Perfect. Well, anyway, you said you had to go. I don't want to hold you up.
Yes.
But do extend that invitation to Malaya if she would like it, and yourself, right? That if she would like to come into a private control.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so the part that I really wanted you guys to understand there, okay, because again, we don't know the answers here. We don't know if Daniel had something to do with the kid's disappearance, if he didn't, if Malaya does, if she doesn't. Bottom line is that those answers will come in time regardless, okay? But does that stop us from listening and trying to understand stuff? Absolutely not. So I think that part was important as well. I want to be balanced, okay? In that we're looking at it from all sides, not just one side and one side only. That regardless, we look at it from all perspectives. So Malaya has portrayed that she was in a controlling relationship, and you can see that by the text messages to Belinda. And again, yeah, mad respect for Belinda. She just wants answers for her grandbabies, right? Some people might deem her son as a deadbeat father that just walked away from them. He's a human being, just like anybody, regardless of what you feel. It's his children. 2 children, both children are gone, regardless, right? Now, we all know that Cody lives with Belinda now. He's gone through some hard times and stuff like that. But it's Belinda that's out here speaking. And she wants the answers, regardless, right? She's putting her heart and everything on the line. I've been giving her days off from really bugging her because I know she's really focused, you guys, on that fundraiser for Jack and Lily, to bring awareness to Jack and Lily. That's her purpose, right? She's not really into the drama of like she gave her piece. She spoke. She did a live 5.5 hour live, okay, and she said what she had to say. If there's anything of importance that might come up that somebody asks her, okay. Sorry, guys, I've been sitting in my chair all freaking day long from work till now. Actually, give me a second. I need to adjust. Just give me a sec. All right, just one. Not that that's any better. Oh, let me adjust still. Okay. Anyways, but so like I said, I've given her a couple of days off. Her main focus is the fundraiser and bringing awareness to Jack and Lily, to what happened to them. And maybe that time will come this week. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will be a month. Maybe it will be another 2 months. Maybe it will be a year. Who knows? We hope not. Absolutely not. So please go ahead and support Alana Kings and Brie and Belinda in that fundraiser. I'm going to quickly drop that down again for you guys because there is a website that apparently this lady named Christine helped build. So very much thank you guys for everyone that's supporting. Again, no negativity towards the fundraiser. Okay, Belinda supports it. Belinda asked for some flags for Jack and Lily. There's keychains, there's decals, there's bracelets now. They're getting themselves organized. They know that they have had a rough start. It's their first time. So please bear with them. You guys can find Alana's email on the posting from the other day. Okay, Alana King _8229 at hotmail.com. This is the website right here. Okay, so going back to what I was going to say here. Sorry, I had to stop and do a commercial ad there. But anyways, no, you guys, the fundraiser is very important. It is helping bring awareness to put out posters. And regardless, it's going to go towards a great cause for benches or whatever, for Jack and for Lily. And if they're alive, then the funds will go to Jack and Lily. So there's the GoFundMe as well. Okay, so everything that basically Malaya, in the little bit that we know, has said about a controlling relationship. Anyone that's been in one, including myself, big time, I could become a therapist on that stuff. Anyways, knows that when a controlling relationship, jealousy kicks in. We can see jealousy in Daniel's text. We can see a lot of digs at Malaya in Daniel's text. We can. He said them. They're his words, right? He has basically said, as everyone's pretty clear, that I looked after Lily and Jack. I did this. I did that. I almost impaled myself. I almost killed myself. Nobody will know that. Da, 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 da. Now, it could all be true. A lot of it could all be true. But bottom line is that almost every single text is a negative remark towards Malaya. So that to me does give me some insight into this relationship. So either she was a lazy plump on the log and Daniel had to take care of the children. If it's true that Malaya played on her phone all the time and basically pushed Lily and Jack away and did that, okay? So it's a possibility that that's true. And maybe it just comes off very wrong. But we've seen the text messages. Each one has clearly stated that I did this, Malaya. Sorry, Malaya, I'm speaking the truth. This is what you didn't do. I did this, da-da-da-da-da. Now, Malaya is saying that the relationship is controlling. What I thought was very important in this video, out of keeping a balance, is that it was clear that Cheryl had said that ever since she met Daniel, there was no talking between them. And that's what Belinda said. Belinda said the same thing, that ever since that Malaya was with Daniel, that all of a sudden she was bringing the children around. Everything was great, and like I said, good environment, etc. And that the minute that she met Daniel, it slowly got pushed away. And Malaya even said in those texts that Daniel would not let me, okay? Again, take it all with information, whatever you wish to take it as. But Malaya said in her messages to Belinda that Daniel wouldn't let her, that she didn't want to be there. And so it comes off like controlling. Now, Daniel has said things in his messages to absolutely kind of add to that there was some sort of relationship. It obviously wasn't this astounding relationship because Malaya would have never left the next day. If she was so in love with Daniel, okay, she would never have left the next day. If they were in cahoots together, she would have not left the next day. No idiot beyond words would sit there and be two people, and then the next person bolts the next day and says, screw you, I'm out of here, bye-bye, you're going to take all the heat, right? If you've done something to the kids and it's a together thing and you know it, again, usually they stick together like flies to shit till they get interrogated and stuff like that, and then they start breaking down and breaking apart, and then information comes out. So there's two things here going on, in a sense. You see what Malaya's portraying is this controlling, abusive type of relationship. Could it be true? Absolutely. Could there be more to than what meets the eye? Absolutely. We don't live in their trailer, right? The only people that are going to know anything is going to be the brother. If Malaya reached out to her family members, and Daniel did say that, or sorry, my bad. Darren did say that Malaya had been talking to her family a couple months prior because she wanted to get out of there. Okay. So is it possible that these children have been taken, that she took them, have been hidden? I don't know. But I thought that was very important to play that as well, because that is another person, a friend of Malaya's, saying that basically since meeting Daniel, AWOL, crickets. Now, going to Nova. Nova, on this particular interview, what are the things that stood out to you?
Well, that definitely stood out to me. The fact that
to be honest to me,
I don't know why that they don't seem to be able to be truthful. Because she started that whole thing off saying that she saw the blanket. I had to listen to it a few times because I was like, I am so confused.
I did too.
And then eventually I started wondering, was she actually saying when she said, I saw the blanket there, I was there, that she was talking about when it was found in the tree, not meaning that she saw it when it was over the rail. And that was the only thing I could get out of that, was that, is that because she was there when the blanket was found in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, is that what she meant? She saw it when it was found in the tree. But I don't know. There just seems to be a hard time with those guys being 100% factual.
Well, yeah, and then when people come out of the woodwork and start speculating, like somebody told me, somebody said that somebody said, right? That's when it's like trouble was caused, suspicion fed, all because somebody said that somebody said. So we don't really want to hear that stuff really too much from people that are close. Like, meaning if you're going to say it, because obviously that was that interview gave me a headache at the start. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was
That's
like,
why I had to listen to it a few times, and then my conclusion was, I think she was talking about she was there when it was found in the tree, but then she went on about it being on the rail and not in the garbage, and that it kind of got blended together. I don't know.
It did, yeah. Mm-hmm. So is there anything else from that? If not, then we'll go to the interview. But I thought the most important thing that I heard there was, at the end of the day, I didn't give a shit about the blanket after listening to that. I was like, we already heard on the dispatch audio about the blanket that Malaya's family had led, that family members led it, was from Malaya's side. Daniel lied and said no. I can't remember for the life of me why Darren said that Daniel lied about that blanket, because originally
he said that he lied because he did not want to be blamed that that he did something to the kids. And I mean, that's just one of those statements that he made, that your jaw just hits the floor. I mean, these kids are missing. You're claiming you'll do anything to find them for the rest to the end of your life. But you're going to lie about a blanket that was Lily's, that Lily might have grabbed and stuffed in her little backpack she had. And this could be the area that they are, and this is very important. Like, it's just the jaw-dropping things, those things that Daniel says.
Okay, exactly. Now, again, him saying in Dolly's chat, like, honestly, oh my goodness, if you're innocent, dude, you never say shit to us. You don't even breathe that out of your mouth to us online about if 2 shirts. If the RCMP know that, they're the ones that are either gonna, throw cuffs on you or not.
Right.
But you don't go to YouTube or freaking Facebooks or anything and well, in this case, it was Dolly's Live, and then say, hey, by the way, look, there's 2 shirts that were missing. I believe that they took them. If they're found around the children, just know that they've set me up.
Yep.
What the
Again,
heck?
jaw dropper.
Yeah. Like, zip the lips on stuff like that. But he didn't. So what happened? As soon as anyone read that, instantly, you just put yourself as the biggest target that you did something to Jack and Lily, on top of what people already think.
And is this possible leakage, Sonny?
Say that again.
I said, is this possible leakage?
Could be.
You know?
Right? You know? All I know is, you know, in true crime, when you've been around, and this channel's been around for 5 years in true crime, you get to know a lot of things over the course. And there's a lot more for me to learn as well. Right? Yeah. But unfortunately, hiding behind, you know, messages, honestly, you're just asking for a world of hurt. Get your ass onto your own channel, do up a video, explain. If you're so truthful, Daniel, I would recommend this to you. I would recommend doing a video on your own channel. Don't come up here. Well, hey, come up here, Daniel. Not gonna lie. Come up here, Daniel. Anyway, no, but you know what I'm saying? If I'm being very unselfish, because it is about Lily and Jack. So the unselfish Sonny will say, get to your own channel, make a video. You can take that video down after a while, because don't worry, everyone will record that video regardless. Okay. So you can put it up, leave it up for a little bit. Everyone's going to screen record it, grab it, you know, but say the truth then. Clear up the mess. Don't go in Facebook groups. Okay. Don't sit there and talk in people's chat. It's like beating a dead horse, trying to prove yourself in those things. As he might not want to, but again, we're talking about 2 things. We're talking about Rcmp. If they have the knowledge, so be it. Great. Absolutely. But then we're talking about that you have put yourself out there, Daniel, to the public, and you have been speaking up. So now you can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, you can, but it's not going to do you any favors. So if I were you, I would suggest creating a video telling the truth, since you're put out this information in interviews anyway, and you're telling mistruths, right? Nova, he's telling that he came out of the woods and Malaya was on her phone. Yeah. And then another version is that the only time his mom came out of the camper was when he was screaming the kid's name, and then she came out. How then could she have seen Malaya at that time without Daniel being around to see it?
Exactly. Right. And it was playing on her phone, right? You have to make it sound worse by saying, somebody in the chat is saying that I'm lying because I said about the blanket being on the railing. They need to listen to that full recording that you just played, because she talks about the blanket. Just listen to the full recording and you'll understand what I'm saying. I'm not lying. I would not lie.
Yeah, come on now, have some respect. Nova's not, again, I wouldn't have somebody up here if I thought that they were just, one of those people that just spew out all this bullshit. I can tell right from the start, looking at her videos, that Nova is a very respectable person, and she's not the kind of person to come up here. But anyways, as for that blanket, go listen to this again, okay? You can find it on Hidden in the Fog. I'll even drop the link for all those people that haven't seen it. You guys, Hidden in the Fog is what it is. I'll drop the link for that video. Subscribe over there if you want. Nova has her channel as well that I post a couple times on there, and Nova's channel is in the description of this video, regardless, whenever the live ends. So for that video, go listen to it again. So Cheryl only heard that the pink blanket was on the rail. She didn't know if it was true or not. It was misinformation, is what it was. Exactly. Okay. So now let's get back to Daniel. Just listen to your elders. How about them apples? We are a little bit brighter and smarter. Okay. So as a person that's wise and going to be even a year wiser come tomorrow, again, Don't hide behind messages in chats. Don't hide behind Facebook groups. That's all it looks like. It looks like you're being a big wuss ass and hiding behind there. If you're willing to speak to the interviewers on CB, go to your own channel, create a video, fix the truth where the lies are, so that you can have people going, okay, now I understand this, right? And you'll take a lot of heat back off yourself if you literally suck it up, Buttercup, do a video and apologize for lying, which you did, which you have been doing. And if it's for the sake of Malaya, just say so. Get off the crock pot with Malaya, okay? Women come, women go. Your family got broken because of this incident and whatever. Maybe it was broken before this. At the end of the day, if you are so dedicated, Danielle, to Jack and Lily, right, and anybody else that's listening to this, then do it for Jack and Lily. These are children. They do not deserve to be in this predicament. Are they dead? Are they alive? We don't know. We don't know. We can only take what's being said to us and wait for Rcmp to sit there and come up with an update to give us the answers. Now, as for Malaya's video, Nova, so I think that whole thing, what I say is that was a scripted crock of crap to me. Again, mistruths. How did you feel about that video for Malaya?
Because I feel Daniel has more to do with this than Malaya, and that's just my opinion. That's not, I'm not saying, nothing that I'm saying is fact. It's just from everything I've pulled out of what he has said, and because he's been proven to be extremely untruthful, because of what he did about the blanket, what he's saying about the shirts, just taking everything. And I didn't believe this at first. It wasn't until he started saying all this stuff that my light bulb went off. And then I came to the conclusion that perhaps Malaya herself didn't feel that way until the whole blanket thing happened. And, you know, he lied about that. I can't imagine. I try to put myself in that person's shoes and think, okay, well, if that was my husband, who is the step parent of my two boys, and if they went missing when they were younger, years ago, we've been together 20 years now, and they found, you know, my son's blanket, part of his blanket, and, you know, my husband's lying and saying, no, that's not his. I think I would go into a breakdown because why is he doing that? You know, why is he lying? So so we know that happened prior to that debrief, and then she left there. She had taken the breakdown and got to the back of the ambulance there. And to me, which is a safe place, and plus there's help there for her. And then she, you know, left shortly thereafter. So one thing I had wondered was, during that interview, was that before or after the debrief? And once the times all started coming out, I was able to confirm it with the tape that you just played there, the video you just played, because they actually talk about the time that the debrief was, and then Malaya left after that. So that was late afternoon, heading on supper time, I guess, near supper time. And when you look up the time of when Malaya did her interview, that was at 9:30 in the morning, because the press always put the time in it, right? So that was before she knew all that information. So in my opinion, she was still under the belief that she was believing what, you know, if my theory is correct, that Daniel has more to do with this, whatever he was feeding her at that time, she was believing it. And so in her interview, she's kind of going along with, you know, what she believes to be true, you know, if it is true that the last time she heard the kids was between 8 and 8:30 before she dozed back off, which she states in her interview and also told Belinda. So she tells that same story twice. It stayed the same, unlike Daniel's stories, which have changed many times. And then, when she starts to she does start to get upset. When she's saying, I want them home. I just want them back home. And she's getting choked up and she starts to kind of rock, which is self-soothing, which tells, not that I'm a body language expert, but we all have been taught, and have learned to, how to respect people's body language. So we all do know some type of basics of body language. So that's pretty basic. When you're seeing somebody rock, it's self-soothing. So to me, when I see that, I'm thinking, if she knew where her kids were and somebody came and took them, well, why is at that point she's getting upset and self-soothing? And what else? The warmth, when she was saying about the warmth, well, I remember that day. That day it reached 30 in the 30s that day, or 30, or it was very, very warm. And I remember saying to my husband, I hope the kids are warm today. The exact words, well, she probably phrased it different, but because it had been so cold and we said we had such a horrible rain and windstorm. And at that time we were under the impression, and maybe still so, that Jack only had his pull-up on. Of course, you're thinking of how cold these children are. I remember waking up through the night constantly, and every time I woke up, I'd be checking to see if they found them, because you're thinking, my gosh, I don't want them to be out in this cold. And then the next day, when we knew that they still didn't find them, but it was so warm out, you're thinking, oh, I hope they're warm today, because at that point we were all still thinking that they're possibly in the woods. So I get that. I get her saying that. So that's my thoughts on the interview.
Who wants to love me right now? My criminology profiler, Alexa, she's going to be on here tomorrow. And because I'm doing this live right now and it's running late, is there anybody out there that can possibly email me at crimingshame@gmail.com, Malaya's interview, and a couple of Daniel's interviews, one right from the start, and then go ahead.
If you go to my channel, Sunny,
yeah,
I have her interview there uninterrupted.
Oh, do you? Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have any of Daniel's on there?
Well, they're not uninterrupted, unfortunately.
Okay.
But there's no issue finding his. But Malaya's is really difficult to find now. Like news-wise, you're probably just only going to find the write-up of it now. So I did find a copy, but I had to splice it together to make it one. But you would never know it's spliced together. It's like the whole perfect interview.
Which one is it? I'm at your channel.
It would have been a few days ago. It's a short one. It's only like 1:36, I think.
Her interview was longer than that.
Because she repeats at the end the same thing she said at the beginning, but in this one it doesn't repeat it. She said in the beginning, she said,
well, go ahead. Which one is it? The 127 one?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, well, let's take a quick listen to it, shall we? Since we're here. Now we're at Nova's channel, guys. Drop the link in the chat just a moment ago. Do I still have it up? Yes, I do. Okay, posting that again. Let's just play that.
It's called Solicitous, my channel, which means when you're, you have an interest in making change in things.
Is that what that means? Thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
Standing for something, making change.
Hi, Raven. What do you, Raven, all I see is you say CBC. Oh, that's the one that's on, you mean? On there? No problem. I just need to give her the gist at the end of the day. But let's play this.
I'm just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up. I heard them playing in the next room beside us. And I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happen to just get out that sliding door and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet. And we get up and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call. They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm. We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just...
Probably it cut off more than what I'd like to have heard. I do have it myself, actually, like myself in a video format. So it did. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. My bad.
Was there more to that? I remember in the end, she just said, I thought she just said again the same thing she said in the beginning.
Not really.
Oh, okay. Does she say more?
She does say more. Like, I mean, it's about, it's a good couple minutes, but I mean, she does kind of say, well, no, she does throughout the whole thing basically say, about her wanting them back in bed and stuff like that.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Now that you say that.
Yeah. So in saying that, so this interview still rubs me the wrong way, regardless, because I know it's a lie. That's why. So now whatever the motive is behind this lie, whether it's she's trying to protect the children or whatever, or that, and that it got out of hand, who knows? But at the end of the day, she never says the children's names at all. Why? Maybe that's guilty knowledge because she knows where the children are, right? And type of thing. So another thing she says is that clearly stands out, is that because we've heard from Janie, so she says that both her and Daniel talk about that silent glass door, okay? Regardless, and Belinda says that glass door doesn't make sound. Well, we all know that those doors roll open. It doesn't matter. Like, so yeah, like if I'm in the bedroom right now, chances are I'm going to hear it be open, to be honest with you, in the living room.
You should, and definitely if you have children.
Now, so Belinda said that that Malaya opened and closed, I think, that door. And Belinda said, like, it's unless you're paying attention to it, which you should be, she said, because of the children, other than that, it's not something that maybe necessarily you would hear. Now, again, if children are opening it, it's going to be softer. It's not going to be like an adult going vroom. It's going to be children if they did go out that door. But what gets me on this one, and this one got everybody, and there's no explanation for it, because she says that we didn't know that until after that they were playing outside, right? So she has these very awkward moments of talking, and to me this is absolutely scripted, by her and Daniel both saying the same thing. No, they're clearly lying.
So remember, Janie says that she heard the kids outside, though. That's what Janie's saying. So she would have told Malaya that, right?
Well, she said we didn't know that they were playing outside. Big difference between hearing them. Now, it could be that. I mean, it could be that. But something happened to the kids.
Yeah.
something happened to the kids, and this, to me, my opinion, is going to be family involvement. Okay, so either they're both culpable, probably, of definitely lying, but what happened to them? Now, does it come across like Malaya's just knows what's going on? She's just hiding behind the wall, not speaking out because she knows the truth, right? Could that be absolutely true? And that's why she's, it's just a warm day. I just hope that they're, warm, or just a sunny day. I hope that they're warm. Can't stand that sentence whatsoever, because at no point, because she's trying to say abduction, and yet she's claiming that, well, it's a nice day. I hope that the abductors then are keeping Jack and Lily nice and warm because it's a sunny day, because that refers to the woods. If you would say that to me. Okay. So if they were abducted by somebody, you're not going to sit there and say, well, it's a nice day. I just hope that they're, kept warm. No, it sounds like you're pretending like they're outside still, lost in the woods. Hope that they're warm today. But no point does she ever gravitate to say, there's no emotion, there's no tears. I don't care what kind of mother you are. This is the next day after. There's not even emotion. So it could be absolutely that Malaya knows exactly what has gone on with these children. And if Janie is what Janie's saying is true, that she might not have seen the children get into the vehicle, but that Malaya was at the end of the driveway and that there was the boot print there, right? There could be truth to that. Or there could be truth to that Daniel's full of shit, and because he's known to lie. So where do we believe the truth here? Well,
sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Cut me off.
In
a nice way.
in my opinion, and again, it's just my opinion, no facts, just what I'm taking from it. Again, I just feel she was believing some things that she was being told by Daniel and Janie, because Janie said she heard the kids outside, and the abduction thing, because she did want the Amber Alert, and then the RCMP told her that they don't do Amber Alerts when there's no evidence of an abduction.
Right.
So then, of course, she's going to go to, okay, well, they must be in the woods, right? I mean, everybody's different. I tend to be the person to not trust. I wouldn't be trustful. I'd be like, no, God damn it, you're doing an Amber Alert. But I just, those are my thoughts on it.
Yeah, and absolutely. And the bottom line is, so my own personal thinking for myself, Nova, at this point is, I honestly don't give a shit about Malaya or Daniel or anybody else for that matter. Sorry, besides Belinda, I do. Okay?
Yes. How can you not?
You know what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that all I want is that if people are going to talk, get your asses properly on here. Don't hide behind Facebooks and shit, and speak your truth. Just speak your truth, because it's about Jack and Lily. So whether Malaya had something to do with it, whether Daniel had something to do with it, whether they both had something to do with it, Jack and Lily need your help. They need the awareness brought, and they need the attention to be always put on to about Jack and Lily and what happened. Because again, if there's a $150,000 reward out there, bottom line is they're asking for help. They want certain people to come forward with some answers. They want some information from you. That's why that reward is out there. It's because they need help in, providing, whether it's a timeline, whatever information they're trying to gather together to, find out, or maybe they know and they just need a solid case. They need to have something. That $150,000 reward wouldn't have come out if they weren't asking for the help. And what can we do? We can make awareness to this case. So regardless of if Daniel's guilty or Malaya's guilty, honestly, everyone's going to have to face their own demons and karma if they know the truth of what happened to Jack and Lily. And if you have guilty knowledge or any knowledge at all about Jack and Lily, right, and can put out posters or whatever, but call the number, please. I'm begging you, as a human being that loves children, that absolutely adores children, that no parent, no grandparent, whatever, that has nothing to do, anything involvement in this case, should ever have to face this type of sadness or grief at all. Okay, let me put that back up. Okay, these two beautiful babies need our help. Belinda is asking for our help into putting their faces out there. The fundraiser thing, people want to support that, they will. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But you can hit the DNA button on the like, and you can hit the share, because like as everyone says, those are free to do. If you truly care about Jack and Lily's case, do it for them, please. I'm asking you, as a mother, as anyone that's a parent out there, if you were in the same shoes, you would want all the attention brought as much as you can. Daniel, Malaya, and all that, that's side noise, okay? Including information from Janie or whoever. It is side noise. But I do love to sleuth, and I just look for the truth. That's it. When I'm wanting a timeline, I'm just searching to have a consistent timeline that, look at, if we got into an argument on the Thursday and our relationship wasn't that great or whatever, you know, they could easily then, between Daniel and Janie, have a solid timeline, right? It doesn't mean that everyone's going to believe that timeline, but at the end of the day, a timeline is what helps people see the bigger picture of it all and be able to sit there and go, Now, that's still not the most important thing. The most important thing is the awareness for Jack and Lily, right? But is it possible? Does it happen that true crime sleuth have helped solve cases? Absolutely. So for any RCMP or LE to say that, you know, we're a thorn in their asses, kiss my ass, RCMP, LE, to that comment. Because honestly, there's going to be a day when you're going to be thankful and grateful for our help, right? Because they can use the news, but the news is they're only going to feed their own agenda. Kid you not? Okay, when people sit there and go, oh, well, everyone cares in Nova Scotia, they truly, truly care. Okay, get real. Let's get real. There's people that care when it comes to the news crews, but they are there for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is their job to provide the most, you know, news that's out there. That's what do you want to say? The one that's happening in the day, right? So if, for instance, Darren and Janie go to the news and they do it, it's going to put it back in the spotlight of the news. But the news, they're not going to tell you any of the behind the scenes stuff. Daniel, he's only telling what he wants to tell to the news. But in True Crime City here, right, he's telling a different story. So again, that stuff is onto the side of the awareness for Jack and Lily. That's the most important thing, guys. And I think you guys recognize that, right? That these are children. These are literally children in front of your face that we have no answers. 2 months later, are they dead? Are they alive? Worst case scenario is going to be that they're not alive. That's going to be heartbreaking. That's going to be torment on any of the family members. It's going to be torment on the people that follow the case. But guess what? Another case will come, but the families are never going to, of course, be able to fill a hole in their heart if something has happened to these children. I pray for the best outcome myself for Jack and Lily, and I pray that the children somehow in this web of lies is that they're actually alive somewhere and being protected. I pray for that answer to come, because that's the best outcome for Jack and Lily. And I never want to ever feel that pain and grief of knowing what Belinda's going through. You know, and I'll speak for Belinda, but not like the other family members, of course, right? That just want answers. Darren wants answers. He wants to understand too what Jack and Lily. But for Belinda, this is a grandmother this is truly impacting every single day for 2 months that she found out from getting sent the article where Daniel and Malaya lived. Was a whole big shock. And then to realize that these children are her grandbabies that are in the news. You know, you guys have seen Belinda's interview. You guys know just how just the sadness, just the hurt that's going on. All she wants is answers. And I want Belinda and any other family member to have those answers. So, Daniel and Janie and whatever, if you've told the truth to the RCMP, so be it. That's the first point that you always want, is that they know it. But if you want to come out here to the public, and start talking, then you know what? If you're going to double talk yourself and get caught in lies, and then you face the repercussions of the internet, don't be shocked, because you lied. You are saying something totally different than what was said. So if Janie, for instance, Darren says, you know what? Janie is a very stand-up person, right? So again, if the RCMP have this statement from Janie and she wavers from her statement, obviously then she's culpable of perjury to her statement and can be charged for that. Do you honestly think that Janie wants that for herself? So if she's saying what she believes is true and what she saw, then there's probably a good chance that that's true, because if she gave the statement to the RCMP, she has to hold to that story. So does Daniel, and so does any other family member that speaks in light of Jack and Lily. What do you say to that? Preach it, Sonny.
Yes. Agreed.
Well,
couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. Well, it pains me to no end to literally, I cover these stories not because I love being in true crime, because I think it sucks ass dealing with murders and missing people. I think it's a horrific thing for people to have to go through that had no involvement, or family members have no answers or clue where a family member is. But the thing that keeps me passionate about it is, one, because it's done with the integrity of being transparent, genuine, and crystal clear on that. I'm not here to bullshit anybody, and I would never want to represent myself that way. It would go against every grain that I've lived up into about being caring and compassionate about other people. I've been in hospitality and customer service for almost 40 years. Why am I in it for 40 years? Well, do you think I love listening to people freaking crack off on me? Right? No. But you know what? I understand that we can make someone's day better just by being kinder and stuff like that, right? So if I wasn't passionate about this, because I'm not a true crimer per se, I would have left already. But what keeps me in it is that we can bring awareness to cases, okay? Every channel has their own reasons for doing something. But this channel will never live off of lies, fake thumbnails, or fake information. We just won't do it, right? So I do appreciate everyone that understands that, and a lot of people that were shitting on us at the start with Daniel's information, a lot of people have come around and, and understood that this channel, is for me about having your guys' respect in knowing that this is a channel that just wants to put out the facts and truly cares about the murdered and the missing. It doesn't matter if it's this case, Sebastian's case, the Delphi case, right? There's no, give me some donations, stuff like that. It's just, here I am after work doing all these live. To be honest with you, like I said already on a live, Nova, I wouldn't push myself this hard, but I'm pushing myself this hard because I care so much what Belinda wants, right? She's not asking me to, but I'm pushing myself for Belinda because I want to keep the story truthful and honest and out there for the sake of the family members, but especially Belinda, that have given every ounce of information between texts, between Daniel and herself, between Malaya and that, because all she wants is, you know what? At the end of the day, she has nothing to lose because all she wants is the truth and answers, right? And if Daniel and Janie, Malaya can give the answers about these children and stop bullshitting, because something happened to those children and they know it. They know it. Daniel knows it. Malaya knows it, right? So take it up, take the accountability for whatever it is you've done and lied about, and do it for the sake of children, the children.
And
Go ahead.
If I was Belinda, and I agree, to me, the only person that matters in all of this is Belinda. She is their grandparent. You know, uh, that's no different than being a mom to those children. But as far as getting answers for is what I'm saying. But I wonder if Belinda has thought of contacting the chief of the reservation to have a conversation with her, because it myself, I would. If it was me, I would want to, for one thing, they respect their elders. And Michelle Glasgow's in her 40s. I would be shocked if they said, "No, we're not doing that." Just reading the profile of her and what type of person she is, and
they seem like really good people. I can
they
say
do. Yeah, I
do.
can't imagine that she would say no. I think she would sit and have a conversation with her, and if this is all shenanigans, and I think she would ease her mind of and answer some questions for her.
Only for the fact that there's a lawyer involved, probably they won't speak at all.
I wondered that. Yeah. But I would still be trying.
Why not try? Belinda said that she wished that the news shows over there in your area would just put a little thing for some of them missing at the end of their lives that they do, and their
they
news.
should.
They should.
They
Absolutely.
used to.
Yeah, they should. Right. And you know what? Faces should go back on the damn ass milk cartons where they belong.
I know, Sonny. I was thinking the same thing. And I cannot believe when Belinda said there was 2 places she said she went to and asked them to put up the flyers, and they told her no. Like, what the hell?
Really? I mean, I think that was such an amazing idea. Everyone pretty much buys milk. You get to see these faces, and it helped. I don't know why they stopped.
I don't know. I don't know why that stopped.
But in saying that, I'm going to go back to this again. Stop screen. I'm just going to go back to this again. Share screen. Where is it? Where is it? Come on now. Oh, this one.
Annan, yes, I remember that. Parents, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?
Oh, yes. It's one of my sayings that I always say that to people still to this day. Do you know where your kids are? Some people have no clue what I mean when I'm saying that. But the people that are older know. Do you know where your kids are? Exactly. Do you know where your kids are? Malay and Daniel, do you know where Jack and Lily are? Speak up.
Yeah.
Speak the truth. The children deserve it. And regardless, see, I believe that this case will get solved. I do.
I'm starting to feel that way too. I lost a little hope there for a bit, and I was like you, flip-flopping, right? Like I thought they were they're in the woods, and then I went to they were kidnapped, they were abducted, and now I'm just the whole Daniel thing and the stuff that he's saying just has me so concerned.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Again, I know that stuff, you guys, everyone wants to understand what happened to Jack and Lily. The only way to do that, the best way to understand this case is take the information being fed by the family. But because there's lies going on with it all, nobody's pretty much going to believe too much anymore. So unless somebody wants to own it, claim it, and speak for Jack and Lily and put their selfish self aside, because that's what it's going to take here. Anyone that has accountability or knowledge, this is about being unselfish and caring about the kids more than you do about yourself or saving your ass, to be honest with you. But it takes a big person to do stuff like that, right? So, because like I said, the bottom line is there's lying. You can't not. So I'm looking forward to Alexa coming on tomorrow, talking about this case. Again, she's a former criminal profiler, 16 years doing that, graphology, body language expert. So I'm very much looking forward to what she has to say. Alexa is a person, she just calls it like it is as well. She's like, I don't care if you don't like my answer. This is how I feel. And it will be in her opinion first, of course, things about what she sees. No different than anyone else, regardless if you have the doctorates behind you and stuff like that. It's still at the end of the day, maybe, obviously, if I'm saying it, obviously I'm not an expert. I didn't go to school. Alexa has the degrees behind her. She has the experience. Other channels that are, the behavioral panel stuff, they have, certificates and that behind them in that type of knowledge. Me, I'm a gut instinct person. It's the cancer thing. I've always been intuitive, and I'm not going to lie. When cases become so full of lies that you don't know what the truth is anymore, all I can ever do is hope and pray that, for instance, if Janie messages me and gives me her timeline, and all I do is like to build a timeline from this to this. That's all people want. They don't want people wish-washy, lying. And that, if you don't want to get the brunt of the internet, right? If you came off as truthful, then you're going to get respected. You're always going to get dogged by people regardless, because there's those wacko jobs out there that no matter what, think that some alien ship ass came down and stuff like that, right? But I'm just talking about like the normal thinkers, the ones that are trying to put a little bit of enlightenment on a timeline. It's very hard to do that when Daniel comes out and says Malaya was on the phone when I came out of the woods. Wait, no, that my mom came out of the camper when she heard me calling the kids, and Malaya was on her phone. And I'm sorry, but why was Malaya using your phone, Daniel, to call the kids into school? Was it really Malaya that did that? Or was it you that did that? Why would she use your phone when she clearly has her own phone that she's playing on? Make it make sense, right? So cut the shit, make it make sense.
Her phone that was dead, but she was playing on it.
But she was, right. So again, make it make sense. Just, it's not hard to tell a timeline. It's not hard to tell the truth. At this point, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. But you know what? It's A, Z, Q, R, this, that. So again, if you want the internet to be behind you and stuff, either put up or shut up, then stick with the news, right? At the end of the day, you're still going to have the force of the internet. You can use the news to your advantage, whatever you want. At the end of the day, nobody in true crime that's following it is going to sit there and believe that stuff, because you're saying this stuff here in internet land. So just clear it up. I'm all about truth myself. I'm a truthologist. Daniel says he is. I call bullshit. Sorry on that, Daniel. You're not a truthologist. You lied. You've clearly lied. So fix up your mess, or don't.
I can't imagine 2 children being missing and telling lies like that.
I'm absolutely. I'm angry somewhat.
It makes you angry.
It does.
It's the truth that'll find these children.
Yeah. And when the truth comes out, again, if your ass gets nailed to the wall, so be it. You deserved it. You lied. You had something to do with it. Whatever the case may be.
Somebody's asking, what did Daniel lie about? What hasn't he lied?
What hasn't he lied about?
It would be easier to answer the reverse of that.
Well, obviously you're not following the case, maybe Mara, too well. If you haven't watched the videos and watched the inconsistencies, I suggest one. Mara, go over to Mob Crew, because I've been wanting to do this about the inconsistencies. It's a lot of work though, and I work full time. But go over to Mob Crew, and he put out a small video where both Malaya is saying, and I tell Daniel, do you hear the kids? And then you hear Daniel in his interview, the polygraph one, say that I asked Malaya, do you hear the kids? Come on now. Get your shit together. If you're going to lie, well, don't lie, actually. Don't lie. But what makes me upset is this, is that There's clearly lying going on. And I don't give a shit if Daniel's saying it's because of Malaya, right? Okay, I get it. If you love somebody, perhaps you are controlling. Perhaps you are a jerk at times. Perhaps you had nothing to do with the kids whatsoever, but you haven't portrayed yourself in a good light, right? Now, in saying that, at the end of the day, still what will be will be. But there's definitely, like I said, the lies going on. Go over to Mob Crew with that. He has a video out that he put where they're both saying that they said this. Both things can't be true. You think that one went, oops, my bad. Oops, I did it again. Oops, I lied again. That I tell Daniel, right? And then Daniel says the opposite. And Daniel says, well, yay, I passed my polygraph test. Well, great. You know that perhaps nobody else does besides maybe your family members, but I'm sure that they weren't in there when they said, Daniel, you passed. Do I believe that they tell you if you passed or not? A polygraph? Yeah, we see it all the time. They'll just tell you, that you did well or whatever, but does a big smirk come across his face? What's that smirk for? Right? Is it because it's somebody that's a pathological liar? But that's not what we're hearing from the friends. We're not hearing that. But again, how many times do we hear in all these murder cases, well, I just never thought that friend was ever that way. He was the kindest person ever. Speak all you want about Daniel and how great he is. Absolutely. If he's great, he's great. If he's a good person, he's a good person, right? But we're not talking about how great and wonderful Daniel is. We're talking about the fact that he's lied. And if he wants to clear up his stuff, then he should make his video on his own YouTube channel, his Pokemon channel, and just clear up the mess. Just clear up the information. You and your mom, talk about the timeline. Put it together so that people can back you up. If you're being truthful and your timeline makes sense and it goes from A to B to Z, to C to D to E to F, that's what people want. If you're going to have chaos, you're not going to have people back you up. You're going to keep going through this. And the longer this case goes on, the longer that, you're still going to be under attack for it. That's my advice. I'm not you, but what pisses me off is that we're talking about two children missing and people want to lie. That pisses me off. So that means that your selfishness over Malaya meant more to you than telling the truth about Jack and Lily. Don't sit there and say you're going to die by the sword searching for Jack and Lily. If you mean it, if you mean what you say, then say what you mean. But don't sit there and say that Malaya was more important than about these children. Because you needed to lie because of that. But you know what? Fix it. Then fix it. I'm not saying that he's not maybe getting to terms about Malaya now. Bottom line is, fix it. Fix your lies. This is Jack and Lily. Right? Anyway. That's all I have to say. Amen. Sorry. I do get upset when it comes to children. You don't fuck with children. You don't mess with children. You don't lie about 2 children. Look at these This bugs me so much. Imagine what Belinda is going through or anyone else.
I can't imagine.
No. Oh, I can imagine, but I'm not in their shoes to actually feel that type of pain that they're going through. So yeah, do I get angry and upset about children? They're innocent. These children deserve their best life. They deserve, if they're not on this planet, they deserve to be here. If they are on this planet, great. Then bring them forward. Or somebody who has any information, bring it forward. Do it for the children. Because if you have children yourself and you have knowledge of it, honestly, then you can really rot in hell, to be honest. If it comes out that you had knowledge and you knew something and you held back information, may karma be a bitch and boomerang you all up your ass, around your ass, inside of it, outside of it. Because I just think that that's just bullshit. These are children. Anyone playing games with that has knowledge, screw you. Come forward, give the information. Okay, now I'm just swearing now. Okay. Final thoughts?
Well, I just want to tell Belinda that not a day goes by that I don't think of her, Lily, Jack, and Malaya as well.
All of them.
Yeah.
Because we don't know the answers. So we can't sit here and say Malaya's guilty, Daniel's guilty, really. We just can't. We can think whatever we want, but we don't have any answers and we don't have any proof. But a damn timeline would be nice. That would be nice. Yeah. Yeah. So if Janie or Daniel, again, Janie, if you wish to speak behind in Messenger, then so be it. I will certainly love to have a nice conversation with you. I'd respect anyone that comes up on this live. No attacks. It's not about that. It's about if it's truth. I think people have no problem spitting out the truth. If it's to talk about, well, like I said, I already said 5 times about that Daniel should just, if he wants to spew out the truth, do it on his own channel, or come up here. I'm a fair channel. We're fair. We talk about stuff. Is it unfair to talk about you guys? No. For anyone that thinks that you don't think that they talk about you guys in the RCMP all day long about stuff or sit there at a coffee table, you don't think that people in Nova Scotia and Pictou aren't talking about you and speculating. Yeah, we're just doing it on a live, right? Because we can. Because why? Because something happened to these 2 children and there's lying going on. And at the end of the day, Daniel and Malaya were the last 2 people with these children. No different than Sebastian Rogers' case, that Christopher Proudfoot, well, he says he was at work, but his mother, Katie Proudfoot, right? She was with her son before the day he disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Having supper at a restaurant.
Yeah. Don't forget the bowling. Don't forget the spaghetti pizza on there. Yeah. But so anyways, you guys. Yeah, so this live kind of went a little bit off. Not too much. Thank you, Darren, for calling in. I'm sorry, Nova. Anyone that knows me knows I probably talk too much and don't let sometimes my guests speak as much.
It's your show.
So what? I know, but I always feel bad because I know I can talk and I know I'm very passionate about stuff and there's a bunch of stuff going in my head. I have a very much of a thinking brain. Do you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah. So there's always a lot of things in there, but I'm sorry. I am sorry if I hogged up too much of the time over you. So,
I don't think you need to apologize for anything. I think it was a great stream.
I do.
I can't wait to see tomorrow night's stream.
Well, I'm looking forward. Don't forget it's tomorrow. For tomorrow, you guys, Alexa, criminal profiler, graphologist, body language expert. She'll be on with us tomorrow. It will be on at 4 Eastern Standard Time, 5 Nova Scotia time. Your guys' what do you call that? Maritimes? No. What is it called? Atlantic.
Maritimes, Atlantic.
Atlantic, yeah.
Our time is Atlantic time, yeah.
You see, in life, most people forget about you guys, okay?
It's true.
It's always PST, right? PST, EST, and of course, Mountain Time. So it's usually...
Well, because we are Eastern, but they had to come up with their own Atlantic time here,
Absolutely.
Just cause confusion, and then Newfoundland is like 30 more minutes in the difference.
Yeah, I know because again, my ex-husband is a Newfoundlander, and it's like 4.5 hours difference, right, from here. And so, but they had to do that, of course, because of the equator, and really they had to do it, you guys, because of businesses that open up in the United States at certain times. So they had to kind of make it well-rounded for when businesses open up and stuff like that about the times. So that's where all this stuff came into play. I remember just reading about it one day.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. What is Mountain Time? Well, it's that time. That's Mountain.
Yes, it's the time of the mountains.
It's the time of the mountains. They call it Mountain Time. It's where the mountains are. Yep. It's like if Charmaine's in Alberta, right? It's Mountain Time on there. But yeah, but there's so I always think about 3 different time zones. Yet there's like 6 time zones. I think it is that is truly 6 time zones, right? Newfoundland, Nova Scotia. It's 5 or 6, one of the two.
Yeah.
On there. Okay, so with that being said,
you were given a friendly reminder to give away some memberships.
I would have forgotten. Okay, since it's my birthday tomorrow or now in Nova Scotia and other parts of it, let's give away 5 of those. You don't need to stay if you need to go now. It's up to you.
No, I'll stay to the end.
Okay,
I already have a membership, so I'm good.
I was gonna say, so let me just find this channel called It's a Crime and Shame. Don't forget, if you haven't hit that like, preach it to them. Go ahead, tell them about hitting the like and share. Nova.
Hit the like and share, folks. Hit that like and share. It gets the information out there. It helps us to find Lily and Jack or gain information as to what's going on here.
Yeah. I can't say this enough. I just hate anything to do with children and animals. They're innocent. That's what they are. They're beautiful and they're innocent. So it breaks my heart beyond repair. Okay, let's find the channel called It's a Crime and Shame. Find that channel. What a troll she is. Oh my God, that woman doesn't know how to shut up. If you could just tell her to get to the point, that would be great. You know, that troll. Well, I hear myself saying it now. Okay, you guys, gonna give 5 memberships. Let's do this. Thank you, YouTube, for giving us 10 memberships every month. I'm gonna send 5 out now, and let's see who gets them. All right, let's see. Come on. Heartbreaking. Okay, H Dog, Toka, Charlie, Frenchie Tribe, Kelly Holcomb, and For Crying Out Loud. And yeah, that's it. Those 5 people all got a membership. So For Crying Out Loud and for It's a Crime and Shame, you know, please hit that like for Jack and Lily, guys. Belinda, go to bed, Belinda. Jesus. You guys know it's late. Belinda's a night owl. Okay.
If I hadn't have taken a nap, I would never have made it.
Oh, I didn't even have a nap. I'm like an Energizer bunny. I can just keep going and going.
Yeah, I used to be until my health took a hold of me. But oh yeah, I used to go.
Yeah. Nope. I got diabetes. I
know.
age. Yeah. So
I heard you say that.
Yeah. Run around and I desert your asses in a second. If it meant me in a taco, I would desert you. You see, this is how much I do and love you guys, because this is my space. I talk to people all day at work. Okay. Can you help me log into my account? Can you fix this? Can you fix that? Absolutely. You know, anything else I can do to help you today? Okay. You know, it goes off again.
Well, I have to tell you, you have the patience of a saint.
I know I do.
You do.
I do.
And it's very easy to see that.
Some people that I get mad at, they don't understand. I don't put up with ignorance. I only put up with kindness and caring about each other. I'm not going to attack you if you don't say something what I deem as rude. Now, sometimes I've been wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's times that maybe somebody said something where I jumped the gun. But okay, like I can sit on the phone for over an hour to too long trying to help some old lady out or old man out with their issue. I got the patience. I do. But I don't have patience for ignorance or rudeness, because it's not about me and it's not about you guys. It's about Jack and Lily and the cases, right? We address trolling, absolutely. I don't put up with trolling, and I don't put up with ignorance. I do not need your subscription, and I do not want your subscription. This channel is based upon a family type feel that you can come into this space and that you can say your opinion and you can say it in a nice way. If you want to say someone, that say you don't like what Darren's saying, great. I don't agree with Darren. I think what he's saying is absolutely false. Great. There's no need to sit there and say, he's a lying sack of crap and blah, blah. No need for it.
Exactly.
No need for it. We're adults. We act like adults. So yeah, this channel, again, my survival is not based on my YouTube income by no means. Right? I sent this channel. It doesn't ask for donations unless we're specifically doing a fundraiser for something like, right? Like I know Kent needs one for his business that burnt down and they only had insurance for the people's vehicles. That's their vehicles and stuff like that. We've helped people along the way, but this channel doesn't use tactics to get your attention. Either you come to the channel because you want to come to it because you find that it's sincere, honest, and with integrity, or you tell us to basically piss off, that we talk too long, you don't care, and then you should go have your own channel and create one yourself, right? I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to kiss anybody's ass for nothing. It's about the missing and the murdered, and that's where it counts. And it will never be about myself, first and foremost, even if I can talk. Okay? Some people say, Sunny, sometimes I bring stuff up about myself, so I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to talk personal domestic violence or...
Well, actually, I thought that was quite disgusting that person said that, because you were quite brave to tell that story that you had told. Yeah. And it takes a lot of bravery to do what you did. And when I saw that person said that, I was quite disgusted.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't ever take away from domestic violence. Don't take away from mental health issues. Don't take away from people at the end of the day. Again, we're supposed to be bringing people up, not tearing people down in this world. Okay? That's how I live. Okay. Right? And if someone's going to be ignorant to me and then my mouth comes back at you, honestly, I've forgotten about you the minute I blocked you. And Neo, yeah, I saw that person. Are you referring to this person, by the way? Or no? You can...
Me?
Yeah.
No. Okay. No, I don't think it was Drippy. This was a while ago when you had...
Drippy. The name in there.
Oh, NY Leo. I can't remember what the name is. That's how, that person meant nothing to me. I just know that somebody had said something.
Yeah.
And I thought, how disgusting. Like, do you not realize how the bravery it takes for someone to tell their story? And I always say there's reasons why people get into true crime. I came from an abusive childhood, and I know for me that has a lot to do with it, because a lot of this stuff revolves around DV and abuse. And you shared your story, which you didn't have to do. So for someone to say, why are you talking about yourself?
Yeah.
Just...
Well, those people have zero impact on me. I mean, I think it's ignorant. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's absolutely ignorant, but those people literally have zero impact on my heart and on my life, right? And so, like, my always thing is that I learned to love myself a long time ago, because I looked at myself and I said, look, do I love a lot? Absolutely. I love enormously a lot. That's my husband. Any relationship I've been in, I give my love all through it, because love means one of the biggest things to me in life is just being in a very loving, caring relationship. Do I care a lot? Absolutely. I've spent all my life helping other people, always putting myself to the back burner as I made other people happy, because I felt like yes, okay, I can go through something sad in my life, but I'm a very strong person. and I can deal with my own shit when I have to, and I can talk to my friends if I need to, which I have some really good friends in the true crime space, because I was not a person to overly air out my issues and stuff like that, because I would rather be making somebody else smile, because life is life. It's a roller coaster. Yes, you go up and you go down and you go all around, and it's how you handle it that matters. So I asked myself when I was about 20 something years old, I said, do I care a lot? Do I love a lot? You know, all those things. Am I as honest as I possibly can be in life? As much as I can. Have I told lies? Absolutely. Are they big lies? No, just little lies. Yeah, you are ugly. I don't like your face, okay? Am I really going to say that? Or am I going to say, oh, no, you look great to me? Stuff like that, right? Oh, yeah, right. So I just, one of those things that's important to me is that I learned to love myself. And I learned that no matter what, nobody can tear down my wall, because I know what I stand for. I don't care if anyone else, well, I care that the people I love around me care. And do I appreciate the people that watch the channel? The ones that say, Sunny, you're genuine. You keep it real. I love you. I love watching your channel. I'm very grateful for those comments, because that means that they understand who Sunny is, and that they see beyond that what people are trying to take away from me by saying, she's just a fat ugly bitch sitting behind a computer. Call me what you want. Sticks and stones, rubber and glue, bounces off me, sticks back to you. Don't care. If your life is so miserable that you need to try to put people down or try to bring me down, it's not going to happen, because I'm too strong for that, right? I've been through domestic violence. I've been through a lot of stuff to understand that if you love yourself and you respect who you are and what you stand for, you ain't tearing down this wall. It doesn't matter who says anything to me. Do things hurt sometimes? Not by people that I don't know, only by people that mean something to me. If I hurt them or something, I would never intentionally ever purposely hurt anybody. In fact, me and Belinda had this nice little thing about how we saved animals and what we do for animals. Because I'm like, oh, no, I saved a fly. Let me tell you the story. And she's like, oh, no, I'm just going to feed my raccoons while I'm out back here. So if I lose you, Sunny, amazing. So
what I take from your stories that you tell when you're being open like that and is, this is why Sunny's doing what she does, and this is where her passion comes from. That's what I heard.
That's what you're hearing.
Yeah.
And I don't like true crime. I don't. But I take great personal heart to the cases that I can impact, and you guys can impact these cases, because you guys care. That's what we can impact. We can help Belinda. We can help the family members. And I know Belinda, she probably doesn't like it when I says her name like that, because it's for Jack and Lily, of course. But still, again, it's the family members that are usually coming out to say, please, can somebody cover my case? Please, can you keep awareness to this case? Please, can you promote the fundraiser for Jack and Lily? Because it's important. Yeah. So like I said, if anyone knows the core root of Sunny, I am one of the most unselfish people you will ever meet in your entire lifetime, because I truly know what my purpose on this earth was. And it was to help other people in any small way that I could. I've done it since I've been a child. I was very much aware of ignorant, like rude people or bullshitters since I was a kid. I was very much aware of the feeling of negativity and positivity around me and stuff like that. And I always just wanted that people would encompass the movie Pay It Forward and really adhere that life, you know what? If you want to live and die by the sword of being an a-hole while you're on this planet, go for it. I hope, 1,000 forks pick you in the ass for the next 10,000 years, to be honest with you. I just have to be good with what I do and why I do things, and I'm good with it. So nobody can tear that wall down. Belinda, for this case, for Jack and Lily, for her grandbabies, She's like, Sonny, here's the information. I'm going to put it out there because I got nothing to lose and everything to gain by putting the awareness out there. Drama causes awareness. It's sad, but it's true.
It is, yeah.
Right? You know it. You know that you're going to get less views being a good, wholesome channel than if you put out some trashy thumbnails.
Yeah.
And put out videos that were, leading you to believe one thing, and it wasn't even what you thought. You know that you're going to get less views because of that. Sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a game, and it's sad to say that it's like a game, but it is a game. The news people want the top story. If Jack and Lily aren't the top story, they've moved on. Their bread is not buttered by one story. Their bread is buttered by all the stories that they cover. It's simple as that. They want ratings, and they want ratings on the top stories. Does that mean people are heartless within those channels? No, but don't make a mistake about it, about why people do things the way that they do. But in the news, they get paid to sit there and provide that. Like, how people can come into true crime and go, you're just making money off of dead children and this and that. Kiss my butt. Seriously. Go tell the news that too. And the news that you're probably watching, go tell them that too. For all those channels that are showing Jack and Lily, why don't you go send them an email and say, how could you? How could you possibly make money off of Jack and Lily or any other case? It's stupid, and I'm not going to entertain that stuff.
And then it ends with them. It's done, and they're on to something else, like you said.
That's not how true crime. Like, I don't work that way. There's others that don't work that way. They're fighting. There's lots of people with Sebastian Rogers. They're fighting it.
Still talking about him.
Absolutely. Because why? Because it means a lot to them.
Yeah.
So this case that I took on with Jack and Lily, it's because my heart was directed to this case. I watched it for a few days, and then I thought, I need to cover this case. It's when something just pulls to my heart, and this case did, obviously, because it was quite out there. But this was about the fact that I could sit there, talk about them on my channel, being Canadian, and putting their faces out there and talking about the case.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. The noise is the other stuff. Jack and Lily are the forefront of everything that I would think that you guys are here for. What happened to Jack and Lily, right? Daniel or Malaya will get their just desserts if they had something to do with it, whatever, right? Whatever punishment, if they had anything to do with it, will come their way.
Yes,
don't worry about that, right? But it would be nice to have a truthful timeline. Nothing happened. We gave away 5 memberships while you were gone. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it at this. You guys are amazing. I do appreciate you guys. That is not ass kissing at all. I truly appreciate you guys that are out there that are following this case and sharing, hitting the like button. If you're here just leeching off the channel's information and you can't be asked to hit the like button, can't do nothing about it. Enjoy it. Have a good night. But please, for the people that are out there that truly want to impact and make a difference to these cases, it's because of you guys. And the family, of course, appreciates it. The awareness. They might not appreciate the other stuff, but they appreciate the awareness. And so if it wasn't for you guys that are hitting the like and share, that are subscribing to the channel because you want to hear more information, then thank you. Thank you for being you. I say that from the bottom of my heart for all of you guys. I'm going to lead off just by quickly. Where do we start? Membership, Lottie. Aaron gifted a membership. Thank you. Lori, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. $1.99. I feel like I'm ripping people off by that price. Drippy, one gift membership. Drippy, another membership. Thank you so much. Lily, thank you for gifting a membership, paying it forward. Appreciate that. Tina, thank you so much. Lily again, thank you so much for the membership. Lily again, thank you so much for the membership. Tina, thank you so much for gifting somebody a membership. Big North Marty, thank you for gifting a membership. For people that necessarily can't maybe afford it, or that they just nicely got one in there. It stops you from using slow mode. You can use the emojis, and you can go to those secret online membership ones, which is the loosey-goosey ones. Stella gifted a membership. Thank you. Mark gifted a membership. Thank you. Thank you for paying it forward. Laws, $6.99. I feel like we only halfway cleared up that answer, so we're gonna get back to you on that one, okay, Laws? Paula McComb. Oh, sorry, my bad. Where did she go? Super sticker. She also got a membership. I seen that. $1.99 super sticker. Miss Persevere became a YouTube member. Drippy Thoughtsicle was very thoughtful. And happy birthday, Sunny. Appreciate that, Drippy. Thank you so much. Darlene gifted a membership. You guys were just really trying to give out those. It's a criming shame. It's a criming shame. I don't know what I would do without you. You're just an amazing person. Anyways, gifted 5 memberships. So congratulations to all the people that did get memberships gifted to them, or for the happy birthday wishes, or the happy birthday $20 birthday thing from Drippy there. Thank you guys. Again, appreciated, never expected. And you guys, I gotta leave now. My husband probably wants to go to bed. Yo. So,
well, Sunny, I'm going to say again, thanks for having me on, and lots of love and positive vibes to everyone. And I'll be tuning in tomorrow, okay?
Absolutely. And next time you're on with me, if you wish to, I'll let you do more of the talking instead of me.
I will come on anytime you request.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Nova. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I appreciate you joining up. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
On there. Wow. Oh my goodness. Now that she's gone. No, just kidding. No, appreciate that so much. And Kent was on here a little bit. Charmaine, I think she's trying to get rid of her family at this point. But again, you guys, thank you guys so much for your time, for everything on there. Good night. Happy birthday. I know. Happy birthday, Sunny. Thank you for all those wishes. Nova, again, right here, you guys. Let's take this down for a second. Let's make this bigger. Okay. So let me put the link for this one more time. You guys can come here and check out the Find Jack and Lily website, right? They're making card decals. They're got some flags ordered. They got some keychains. They got bracelets. They got all that good stuff going on. Anyone that wants to subscribe to Nova's channel, it's in the description of this video as well. And yeah, you see, I could still go another hour. I could, but I got to prepare for, do a thumbnail for Alexa for tomorrow. Okay. Remember, she's just a straightforward person. Have a great night. Thanks, guys. That being said, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. If I did, know that you're in the biggest hugs and thank yous. Okay, guys. Bum, 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 bum. And I'm just looking for my outro, to be honest with you. You know what? Let's do the Jack and Lily one. Let's do the Jack and Lily outro. Let's do that. Let's do that. Do 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 do. Why am I singing do 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 do? Video file. Okay. Let me just find it. Okay, let's play this out.
A little girl and a boy went missing one day. It was on Friday morning, the 2nd of May. People went searching in the woods there outside. The 2 little children named Lily and Jack. The girl was just 6 years, the boy he was 4. weeping, they walked out the door. As time it went by and turned into day, no sign of those children, the news it did say. Where's Lily and Jack? Where can they be? So sad and heartbreaking for each family. Not a trace or a sound from Lily or Jack, who walked out the door and they never came back. Lansdowne Station, it was their own. In Nova Scotia, there they did roam. Let's not forget them and let us pray for those two little children still missing today. Where's Lily and Jack? Where can they be? So sad and heartbreaking for each family. Not a trace or a sound from Lily or Jack, who walked out the door and they never came back. Walked out the door and they never came back.